Totes Recall.
Ooh, welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well. Pause the recording, eat 2 pizzas and 2 salads, thank you patrons, while watching the movie that was just discussed. Finish the movie, come back. Second half of the podcast is us talking again about the same movie, the one we talked about in the first half,
Thank God.
the one we watched in between recordings. It's all about the same movie, and the second half we know what we're talking about. We are experts on that movie, and my name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this very special episode is...
Wait, what's special about it?
It's June.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Does the stuff that a spider can.
Okay, but
Something,
which
something,
Spider-Man?
his blood is there. It's
What?
radioactive. Listen, bud.
Watch out. It's a Spider-Man.
He's a menace.
This is... You might be asking
Is this
yourself...
Tobey Maguire?
First Tobes, I believe is what Dan called. First Toby.
First Toby.
The first Toby.
Is this Upside Down Kissing?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'm on board.
This
No, I'm
movie
not
came
very-
out in
2002.
2002.
2002. It's on the sheet.
Is it?
Yeah, because we had to designate which one we were
right.
watching.
We should have written First Toby.
Oh,
You're
first
right.
Tobes.
First Tobes. Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man.
Yes.
We will see the full story.
It
Uncle
is.
gets murdered.
Yeah, Uncle Ben. Sorry, buddy.
Oh,
You
that
got
is sad.
killed by a thief
Yes.
who Spider-Man could have stopped
Yes.
if he had used his great responsibility.
If he'd used his power responsibly.
That's right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
Is this... Okay, that's the line for this movie. With great power comes great responsibility. Famous
Famous line.
line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this a famous comics line?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard so many people say that before that it got to a point where I'm like, was that just said in the movie or is it from that movie?
It is, yeah, no, that is a famous line from the old Spidey.
Dan Lee was sitting
Yeah.
around thinking about power and responsibility.
What if a teenager had the powers of a fly? But then I thought, what if it was a spider instead? It's something like that. That's the story. I think he was in his office and he saw a fly. He was like, what if a teen did that? And then they decided it was a spider. Or what also might have happened is Steve Ditko drew a spider person and Stan Lee was like, yeah, let's do that. It's unclear.
Wow. Great history.
Thank you.
Molly's hot bet Stanley makes a cameo appearance in this
Yeah.
one.
Very
nice.
Stanio. I don't know what
Dan's
that means.
tepid bet. This movie features seminal 2002 artist Macy Gray.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Cool.
Is she the one that walks in the rain?
She's the one who tries to say goodbye.
Oh.
She chokes.
Yeah.
So this is... that is so good.
It's clear. It's almost like the rights to Spider-Man were owned by a giant media company that also had an extensive record production company.
That company is Sony.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow.
Pictures.
Is this the first Marvel movie?
What do you mean?
There's lots of Marvel movies, right?
Yes.
Is this the first one of that series of Marvel movies?
No. This was...
Like Iron Man?
How much history do you guys want? Because this is
I
the
don't
episode where I
know.
could talk the entire time.
Dan's putting on his Oakley sunglasses.
That's right. I am getting into the front of my pickup truck.
Turned his baseball cap backwards.
That's right.
So the kerfuffle with Spider-Man is that Sony owned all the rights.
Okay.
And so Marvel Studios couldn't make a Spider-Man movie until they could.
This was before Marvel Studios existed.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is there have been a million Marvel movies now.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this the one that started off
This is
comic book movies?
I mean, this is the one that made
Spawn
money.
happened before this.
Sure, that's not Marvel property. I'm putting my
Is it
other
not?
Oakleys back on.
Spawn rules.
Doesn't Spawn look like Spider-Man kind of?
I mean, in that he covers his head.
He's got a
Okay,
cape.
Dan Linden, I'm ready to hear it.
Okay.
And when it gets tiresome, I'll tell you.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. The year is sometime in the 90s. Marvel Comics is bankrupt.
Oh.
They are fucked.
That is shocking news to hear.
They
Right.
sold their rights to various movie studios, media companies, what have you. Spider-Man was sold to Sony. Other things were sold to 20th Century Fox. I do not remember the order these movies were made in, but they made a Blade movie. They made an
Blade.
X-Men movie. They made a Spider-Man movie. All of those movies did okay, at least, if not very well.
Yeah.
That is the point where people were like, oh, this makes money, let's keep doing it.
Okay.
However, it was not until the movie Iron Man where Marvel made a deal with Paramount Studios to create their own movies with the characters they had not signed the rights off to a different studio.
Oh, so when they say Spider-Man Homecoming, that has like multiple.
It does.
Oh.
Correct.
Oh.
Basically, what happened
I get
is
it.
all of their most popular characters, they had licensed the rights to other studios, and all of the other characters, the studios were like, who cares? So they were like, okay, well, let's try to make a movie out of one of the who cares, and then it worked, and then here we are today.
Yeah, I was thinking about this on the drive over. I was like, it's wild to think of a time when comic book movies weren't the dominant movie.
It was like a novelty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, the nerds got a movie.
Yeah. We got one!
I think I've heard of Spider-Man. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, they made 3, and the third one's a real trip.
It sure is.
Is that the one that I love the most?
I don't know.
Is that the one where he Sam Raimi directed and he does a little
Sam Raimi
dance
directed all
down
of
the
them.
street? Oh,
Yeah.
he did?
Yeah.
But emo
Are
Spider-Man
you talking
is
about
3.
Emo Spider-Man does a dance?
God, I love that so much.
Yeah,
That is like my favorite. I mean, everybody hated that, and I was like, that was my favorite part of that movie.
I mean, it is the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Toby's
true.
having fun with it.
So this is before. Wait. So Miles
Morales?
Morales
Doesn't even exist yet.
does not
Like
exist
as
yet.
a property.
So that's like a multiverse thing.
What do you mean?
Who's Miles Morales?
So
He's a different
the
Spider-Man.
new a different Spider-Man.
He's in the Spider-Verse movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
The writer of that version
Uh-huh.
did a radio interview the other day, and I literally
Today?
cried.
Oh.
No, the other day. Yeah, modern. It was
like
they were
full on
releasing.
radio?
I was listening to actual radio in my car.
Okay.
Wow.
And it was an interview with who?
Somebody who wrote a book,
That sounds like radio.
like a graphic novel
Uh-huh.
featuring Miles Morales.
Okay.
And I guess is like the writer of it.
Of
He
Listen,
wrote
I
the
came
book or the
halfway through.
movie?
No, not the movie. The book.
Oh, okay.
which book?
A graphic novel is coming out.
It hasn't come out yet.
It's coming
No,
out?
it's coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
did
Miles
he-
Morales is taking on, I think, censorship or evil.
Sure.
Yeah,
Is censorship a character or the idea of censorship?
it's like
Or
a
both?
whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I came in the middle, but what I'm telling you is,
Totes Recall
and
Radio.
I don't remember his name. But dang, like I literally sat in my car and cried. It was so beautiful the way he talked about how kids think about the world and what's going on with censorship right now, and it just like blew my mind.
I see.
Oh, cool.
So
I love that
find it.
Spider-Verse movie.
But this
Yeah.
movie
it's
is
so
not
good.
that. It is good.
This is just Tobey Maguire
Yeah.
and Kirsten
Dunst.
Dunst.
Yeah.
And the guy who's
Not
from
Marissa Tomei.
Appleton, Wisconsin,
What?
but I think he's from another planet.
What?
Bill
What?
Goldberg. No.
As the villain, Green
Yeah.
Goblin?
Willem Dafoe?
Oh,
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh. Wait, he's from Appleton, but you think he's from another planet? Is
Yeah,
that what
He's from Appleton?
Right? Right?
I really thought he was European.
Right? He seems like he's he seems like a Dracula. He's like from Transylvania, but like an alternate dimension
I mean,
Transylvania.
his family probably emigrated from like Bavaria or some shit, right?
I'm just saying, like, he's a treasure, but also a weirdo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I feel like I would have remembered this movie came out in 2002, even if we hadn't all seen it on the spreadsheet. And let's face it, I never know what's on the spreadsheet. But the reason is 2002 is when I started at big media company working at animation
Wait,
TV.
wait, you're choosing now,
Now?
9
Yeah.
years in, to not name drop that company?
Yeah.
I'm trying. Anyway, I was working at Cartoon Network,
Uh-huh.
and I just moved over there, and so many people who worked there knew somebody who worked on the film
Oh, sure.
as it was filming. So all these great stories about like how Willem Dafoe's like mask was so confining and such a mess,
Yeah.
and how many Spider-Man suits they went through.
Oh, I'm sure.
They had so many, and apparently they were pretty easy to tear. There was a colleague at Cartoon Network Studios, which is the animation arm out in Burbank, who lost a bet, and somebody procured for them an actual Spider-Man costume from the set.
Ooh.
And he lost the bet, so the bet was he had to go out with a group of people wearing that costume. And they went out and they ran into Tobey Maguire.
Mm.
Or that was that whole crew was hanging out together. So it was like Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire
what did
and
they
that
call
crew.
that?
What'd they call that crew?
I don't know.
It wasn't like it was like a
Creep Squad?
variation
The
on.
Brat Pack, right?
Snatch Pack?
Oh,
It was something like
yes. It
weird.
was something real bad.
Oh.
The Pussy Posse or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah, that was bad.
Oh, Toby was a creep? Or is it?
I don't know if he's a
Toby
creep or
was
not.
part of Leonardo DiCaprio's like, we're young and we're, getting chicks.
This
Yeah.
town
And we're
is
just going to
ours.
stay this age
Yeah.
forever.
Yes.
At
Anyway,
least our women will.
Ah,
the point, and actually, I don't even know if they were there. The point is that he ran into Tobey Maguire
and?
and got his picture with Tobey Maguire. And Maguire was like, what? And pointing at him in his Spider-Man costume.
Yeah.
And that was on the fridge at the Burbank Studios.
Oh, nice.
So that's how I know that
I've
story.
not heard that before.
I
Oh,
know.
great.
I
That's a
agree.
fresh
New
one.
story.
It's a
And
fresh story.
relevant
Oh.
to this episode.
yeah,
Oh,
wow.
Spider-Man. 2 for 2.
Spider-Man.
And if anyone's listening who knows this story better, I really apologize. But I always thought it was a great story.
Great
What
story.
fun.
What
yeah, that
fun.
is fun. Also, James Franco
Yeah.
in this movie. I think this is the first thing I ever saw him in.
Oh, is he kind of brooding in this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like
Majorly brooding.
Goblin son, Osgood.
Oh.
Osgood.
Harvey Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harvey
He's
Osgood.
Junior Oz.
Is it Osgood?
No.
Oswart.
Sure. Write it down.
Oswald.
Write Oswald down.
Cobblepot.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's Oz something.
Yeah.
Oscorp.
Yes. That's the name of the company.
Oz.
No. Oz Enterprises.
Oswald.
I'm going with Oswald.
I love Oswald
Okay.
so much.
I love it. And this is the one where you get that great montage of Spider-Man trying to learn how to do stuff and like splatting on walls.
I think so.
Yeah, it's great.
Ugh.
But it's cute.
Oh, sure.
In a cute way, Dan.
In
Yeah.
a cute way.
He's splatting on walls in a cute way.
He is a science boy
Yes.
in high school, and he gets bit by a radioactive spider
Okay.
While on tour.
or a DNA
of
spider.
A big.
He's a science boy?
Isn't he just on a science
I thought he was
trip?
like a photographer.
He's both.
He loves science and photography?
You can not like more than one thing at
He's
a time.
he's a what do you call it?
Double threat?
No, there's a word for it.
Prodigy.
Multi-hyphenate.
AV kid.
Sure. Yeah.
AV club.
Yeah, maybe that's a good
Oh.
word. He's an AV kid. There's a word. I don't remember it. Look it up or tell us later.
Anyway, he goes on a tour. Spider, probably genetically modified.
It's the
2002,
2000, so
yeah.
it has to be genetics instead of radiation. Yeah.
Yeah. Bites him, and then he gets sticky.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He also gets fucking
But his
shredded.
crush
Does it
is
zoom
on
into
the
his
trip.
fingers? And there's like little hairs on his fingers?
He's
Yeah.
got hairy palms.
Is that a
Yeah.
bet?
From
That's
That's
bet?
That's
Sticky.
bet. There's like, there's a scene where it zooms into his fingers and he's got little tiny hairs.
Weird.
I'm writing hairy fingies.
Yes.
Oh, that'll definitely come through. But yeah, but so what is the name of his love interest?
Parker
Mary.
Posey.
Mary.
Nope.
Kay.
She's in this movie, though.
No. Mary.
Parker Posey is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so.
Mary Jane?
Jane.
Mary Jane.
Jane. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, she's on that school trip too. No big deal.
So, also, Dan is like,
He's really soaking
just-
it in.
I'm just trying not to be a Molly about it and say all the shit I know before you guys learn it.
Oh,
yeah.
wait, do I
wow,
do that?
wow,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Upside Down Kiss, Molly, you alluded to it earlier.
Yeah.
Iconic DVDs moment.
Apparently
Very DVDs.
terrible because the water just kept going down his nose.
Oh, I hear that.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
like fake raining?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I didn't even think
that's
about that.
terrible.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then they went out for a short time.
The actors.
The leads?
The actors, the
Wow.
leads went out for a short time after.
T. McGuee and Kirsty D.
Yeah. And then they kind of broke it off. Like, I don't think it was that serious.
Sure.
Okay.
But he was on a late night show.
Oh.
I used to watch all the late night shows, and he was on one of them. And somebody was like, "Oh, so how's that Kirsten Dunst?" And he was like, clearly they had broken up, but they hadn't like gone public with it. He's
Yeah.
like, "She is really beautiful." I was like, "What a." It was kind of not the nicest thing you could say, but maybe for him that was the nicest thing he
I mean,
could
it wasn't
say.
unkind, right?
He said it in such a way that I was like,
It's like, but she has nothing else going on.
yeah,
for
that's
her.
kind of the
Oh, I
vibe.
see, I see.
It was like it rode that line
Yeah.
of being, because she's obviously gorgeous,
Yeah.
but it kind of rode that line of being like,
I see. I mean, I feel
weirdly,
like
I still think I like Tobey Maguire, even though I don't know anything about him.
I feel like
he's
he's
so
got-
charming.
I feel like he has a reputation for being like intense, and some people think he's a crank,
Mm-hmm.
and other people are fine with him. I don't know.
He's a 70s show?
No,
No.
What?
Who's that guy?
That's the guy. Okay, that's
In Spider-Man 3, he is
Topher
there
Grace.
because you are
Probably because of me.
Probably because a bunch of people are like, oh, they're the same person, right?
Yeah.
and he's the character that I'm confusing with Spawn.
Oh,
You're thinking of Venom.
yeah,
Venom.
Yeah.
He's Venom in 3, right?
Yeah,
But not Venom in the Venom movie.
correct. No, that's Tom Hardy with the most incredible accent in the history of
Is
cinema.
it?
Really?
Best plane movie ever. Go
Yeah.
check out Venom when you're flying.
I can see that.
Great.
It's a good
Plane.
point.
That's
The
good to know.
greatest plane movie I've ever seen on a plane.
Okay, Tobey Maguire
Yes.
is not Topher Grace.
Yes.
This
He's
is news to me. But okay.
Oh, wow. Really?
I guess I sort of knew they were different people, but
What?
like it seems like they're close enough.
No.
I can't think hard enough to decide
I mean,
who's
there's
who.
probably a reason why they cast him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just think of them. They have such different energies to me.
What do any of you think actually happens in this movie?
Oh, okay. So I know.
I know what happens.
Okay.
No big deal. I also know what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
He gets
I've
him
seen this story 100 times now.
bit by the spider.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He's got powers, but also it's a metaphor for
Puberty.
He's splatting over all the walls.
Yes.
Oh,
Come on.
Molly
now.
said he
She
was
said
splatting on
it's
the walls.
splatting on the walls.
I
Yes.
did not mean it like that,
Well,
though.
You gave it the caveat of but cute, but that doesn't change the fact that he's splatting
I
on the
meant
walls.
like not violent.
It doesn't have to be violent.
no.
I will tell you just straight up, nothing in my life frame of reference has anything to do with splatting on the walls. That may be your growing up experience, but there is not some corollary
Uh-huh.
to my life experience.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying you're the one that said splatting.
You
on the
said
walls.
splatting on the walls.
But I didn't mean it in a gross way.
He's shooting ropes.
Oh, boy.
He literally is. He literally is.
This was my 2002 experience with it. Giggling about his webs. Yeah.
No way.
I gotta say, I've
men of a
never
certain
thought
age.
I've never thought of it that way,
Yeah.
and now
Now you
I'm
gotta.
about to
You
watch
can't
this
unsee it.
movie,
You
and
can't
it's going
unsee
to be upsetting
Yeah.
to watch.
Yep.
Wow.
You're welcome.
And thanks for ruining everything.
And so he decides to become a wrestler,
Yeah.
underground fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, he makes his own costume.
Yep. And then he got some money from the fight, but then there's a crimer.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And he doesn't stop the crimer. Crimer kills Uncle Ben.
Oh,
Oh,
Very sad. Right after Uncle Ben gives him a very moving pep talk in the car, and it's raining.
Dan's bat, his aunt and uncle are real sweethearts.
what's
Yeah.
the
So
aunt's
sweet.
name? It's not.
May.
Aunt, oh, May.
It's gonna be May, isn't it? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, like I mean, I feel like this particular iteration of his surrogate parents, they're just real sweethearts. Ugh.
Do we know the actors who play them?
I mean, I know her. I don't remember her name.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out. And then he's like, uh-oh, with great power comes great responsibility. I better learn to shoot ropes responsibly.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
boy.
Exactly.
And so he practices that.
Yep.
And then at the same time, his best friend's dad goes nuts because he injects himself with goblin juice.
Okay.
And Spider-Man's got to stop him. They don't know who each other are. And then eventually they find out.
Oh.
Willem Dafoe gets a glider in the guts.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile, does
victory.
he have to make a big choice between Mary Jane and I don't know, steaks?
Steaks?
like meat steaks?
No, like
Just a
the
truckload
stakes
of
have been
steaks.
raised, like
Oh, those kind of
the end of
steaks.
the world, or this bridge full of people, or something.
Oh,
I feel like we got Mary Jane wrong because of how
that a
snug and
bet?
quiet Dan was.
Is that
Yeah,
a bet?
right?
Yeah.
Sure, let's make a
Sounds
bet.
Yeah,
right.
there you go. It's a bet.
It's a bet.
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane is a Spider-Man girlfriend, but
Yeah.
there's like two big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely Mary Jane with red hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan's
Did you not
given-
write down my bet because you're being so suspicious?
Yeah. What were you talking about?
Oh my God.
Beth and I were having a sidebar.
Sorry, that's probably horrible to listen to. Just
Yeah.
two different conversations.
Great podcasting.
We've been doing this for almost 9 years.
Yep.
And truthfully, I don't remember what my bet was. So
Her bet was
tapes.
her bet was that at some point
Oh, the steaks.
Spider-Man will have to choose between girlfriend material or steaks.
Or steaks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
but not. Yeah.
Steaks the Lady,
Yes.
which
Oh,
is
is
a
there
new
a
show I'm
train
bringing
or
to
something?
streaming
Absolutely.
service.
Absolutely.
It's
What?
got to be like a train or something.
Oh yeah, he splats on a train and stops it from crashing.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's in the second one.
Oh, okay.
But there is
okay.
probably I think a bridge thing happens.
I feel like there's a bridge.
He's got to stop something with his web. It's
Yeah.
so strong.
Yeah.
And he like swings across the bridge, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, this is the movie where they had to cut out. Originally, they had him swinging between the Twin Towers,
Yes.
and they had to cut it out.
Oh, 2002.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. There's a very
It's the same year as Made in Manhattan, right?
weirdly, I think
Yeah.
so.
Whoa.
Similar.
Are they in the same universe? Are we going to see
Absolutely.
J-Lo like going to work?
Oh wow, I hope so.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a moment in this movie that I like. It just feels very much like this movie was being made during 2001.
Oh, there's a
and-
bunch of American flags.
yeah, and there's like a whole like very on the
this is like
nose.
New Yorkers,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do it
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. There's a
Yes.
very on the nose like New York baby. I'm gonna throw trash at you, Green Goblin,
Oh, yeah. All the New Yorkers come together to help him with his web.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be sweet.
It
I
felt
don't know,
very
like
tacked on to me.
Yeah,
Even at the
for sure.
time, I was just like, "Oh boy,
Does the Green Goblin throw pumpkins?
hell yes."
Yeah,
it does.
Okay,
like
cool.
chemical pumpkins, like,
Oh,
chemical,
okay.
like bombs.
Yeah.
yeah.
I could just picture a pumpkin.
Yeah,
And
this
he cackles
movie.
a lot.
This movie was still in the era when they made these movies where like, don't make it too ridiculous. Like they had to, because in the comics, like the Green Goblin is just like literally like this wide-eyed, insane cartoon creature, even though he's ostensibly a man in a rubber suit. But in this one, they're just like, well, that would look insane. So they made it more, as the nerds criticized at the time, a Power Ranger.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so like he has like pumpkins, like he has bombs that are orange colored and are vaguely shaped in a way, like they're ridged in a way that would suggest a pumpkin.
Okay.
But like in the comics, it's like literally like a headless horseman, like he's throwing like pumpkin shaped explosives
Okay.
that I think have like jack-o'-lantern faces on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's like a Halloween themed villain.
Kinda. I mean, not explicitly, but
Yeah.
I mean, when else are goblins hanging
exactly.
out?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Very good.
And who's
point.
the hobgoblin? Is that his son?
No, it's another goblin.
Okay.
What's a hobgoblin?
That's a different
another goblin.
Spider-Man.
There's a goblin and a hobgoblin.
There's so many
There's
goblins.
a green
Beth.
goblin and a hobgoblin.
Why
There's
are there
also
so many
a demo
goblins?
goblin.
Demo goblin.
Hell yeah, he came from hell.
Oh,
Wow.
I thought you said Devo Goblin.
That would be great.
Very
They
exciting.
really
Maybe.
whip
Whip it.
those.
Yeah, that one has a whip. Devo Goblin has a
Mm-hmm.
whip and a cool pyramid hat.
Nice.
Do we think that it passes the Bechdel Wallace
I do.
test?
I really
Damn.
do. I'm going to say yes.
Lady and Ant.
I hope so. They have to talk to each other at some
I think
point.
there's got to be somebody on the tour of some teacher, something.
Yeah.
Mary
Or maybe
Mary
she
Jane
has a
gets in a
friend.
fight. Oh, they meet out by the garbage cans, and she has a rough time. She gets yelled at. Her
Yeah, but that's
pants
talking to Toby
Yeah,
McGee.
I do remember
But
the garbage
doesn't
can
as she
scene.
leave, doesn't her mom say, "My name is Lydia, and I hate you"? Or something?
I'm the tattooed
Wow.
lady.
I'm
Get
sure,
back in here.
I'm sure her and Aunt talk about something other than Peter, right?
I don't know. I'm going to say no.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
spicy.
It is spicy, but also very plausible.
I also remember that trash can scene. That's like a very moving,
Yeah.
because they're neighbors,
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
he's a dork and she's a popular girl. Or
Yeah.
at least she's pretty and confident.
I think both.
She's beautiful.
She's very beautiful.
Yeah,
She is
this
very
movie
beautiful.
is like Sam Raimi really leaned into like the earnestness of like classic comic books with this movie, because like he clearly, I don't know, I mean I don't know how old he is, but he's clearly like of an age where he grew up with like the older comics where it was a little more just not quite so like nitty gritty. Everyone's got huge muscles and pouches everywhere.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Pouches?
Just look it up.
Okay.
There was a time in the 90s where like every character in comic, like superhero comics, was like incredibly jacked and had just like a weird number of unnecessary straps and pouches in their outfits.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
but not like they weren't like kangaroo man.
No. I meant like utility like
Okay.
straps
Got
and
it.
shit. But it was always like, why are there like 12 pouches on that thing?
Sure.
Well, they don't have pockets.
But they could if they just
Not
drew
with the
pockets.
latex.
Some of them
Anyway.
look like they're just wearing pants and a shirt, and they still
Yeah.
have like a giant pouch belt.
Well,
or
that's when
whatever.
you need a pouch
Yeah.
belt.
I guess.
Can't tell you how many times I've left the house in just t-shirt and tights and been like, man, where am I going to put my keys?
Yeah, my stepdad used to have this vest that had probably a dozen pockets on it.
Yes.
And we would drag him relentlessly.
Would he wear it anytime other than like fishing
Is
in
it
a
like
canoe?
one of those photographer vests or whatever?
Oh, sure.
Like,
Kinda like that.
nature time.
But he on trip, he would take it on trips.
Okay.
And he got rid of it. And now, as a 35 going on 41-year-old
Yeah.
dad, I'm like, that's a good idea. Even weight, distribute all the shit you got to carry.
Did he like utilize all the pockets?
He would use some of the pockets, but also we would like make him carry our shit because we got so many pockets. So I think it kind of bit him in the ass a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, kids are cruel.
Yeah. I asked him if he had that vest, and I was ready to take it off his head.
Nice.
He had got rid of it.
Oh,
So it goes.
yeah, you did that yourself.
Yep. Now I got a bag. I got a shoulder bag
Yes, great.
instead of a vest.
Nice.
That
Is
I
there
got from
anything
my
else
mom.
we usually take a bet about?
So many things.
I feel like that's pretty good. There's no
Is that
big
a
song,
leading
right?
question? Because I can't.
I mean,
actually
Macy Gray
remember.
performs a song.
Macy Gray-
She's in the movie performing the song?
Yes, this is a Sony Pictures movie.
I don't remember
Does
that.
he like
at
run through a
all.
concert or something? Or she's like behind him
Huh?
singing?
Like
How
she's
is
at
she
a
in
record
the
store.
movie?
She's also like
She's just at a record store, like singing her
Flying
own
through.
album. Yeah.
I'm trying to hide it.
This is
clear.
peak synergy time. This is 2002. Sony is a giant media company. It's just like, oh shit, people might buy the soundtrack from
Synergy
Sony.
was a thing.
Yeah,
Oh, we had to talk about it at work all the time.
I'm sure you did.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah. Oh, what if Scooby Doo was on a shirt?
Oh,
I had a lot of
don't
Scooby-Doo
get me
shirts.
started on Scooby Doo and like riffs with. Okay, so Scooby Doo.
Wait,
So
don't get me started.
None of
And
us
now-
said anything.
He
No.
didn't get you started.
We're not going to let you get
Even though I really want to talk about Scooby Doo. I've just started rewatching the Mysteries Incorporated with my child again,
Oh wow.
which is, I feel like, maybe from Molly's era.
Okay.
It's like from mid 2000s. It's way better than it has any reason to be.
Oh.
Yeah. It's got a lot of good voices. Fred is really into traps in a way that I find very funny.
Nice. Is this the show that caused rifts?
I no.
Okay.
So hear me out.
I'm listening.
Turner Broadcasting
Yeah.
bought tons of content, right? They ended up with a whole Hanna-Barbera library. They got Scooby-Doo. They got all kinds of stuff, right?
Snagglepuss.
Yeah, all of it.
That big racing one.
Yep. Just for days, right? Just huge, huge catalog. And that's what started Turner Classic Movies and eventually started Cartoon Network. And when Cartoon Network started, it was a lot of Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Then there was a merger with Warner Brothers.
You have complained about this merger before.
Yeah. So when they merged with Warner Brothers, somehow in that merger, they took Scooby-Doo.
Zoinks.
Who
Zoinks.
took Scooby Doo?
Yeah.
Jinkies.
I don't know. Lawyers? I don't know. Somehow Warner
Who took
Brothers
them?
ended
Who
up.
took them though?
What do you mean? Who took them?
Who
Warner
took
Brothers.
Scooby Doo. But I thought they merged.
Didn't they both have it then?
Oh,
Weren't they all
it's not
one
like
entity?
marriage, okay? It is like two companies that barely get along and are only ever going to get along when AOL buys everybody,
Sure.
and then we have to get
Sounds
along.
like a marriage to me.
Oh.
Does that work?
I don't know.
So you
I
mean
feel
like
weird?
I don't understand what you're saying. So you're saying like now they have Scooby Doo
They took Scooby Doo.
forever?
Warner Brothers took Scooby Doo,
Okay.
Okay.
and then we would say, "We love Scooby Doo. Can we do something with Scooby Doo?" And they'd be like, "Warner Brothers has it. Just you got to get over it. We got plenty of animation."
Oh, wow. Well, this was a Cartoon Network one, the one that I watched, so I guess they got it back.
I don't know. I think eventually, like, enough stuff happened that people worked together again. But there was a moment where Warner Brothers made a Scooby-Doo movie.
Mm.
And
Live action
we were
one?
going to have a live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
Freddie P.
Yep.
G. J. Freddie PJ.
Oh, we have talked about this before because I remember Freddie Prinze coming up.
Yeah.
Huh.
And Matthew Lillard does great,
Oh,
honestly.
it really
great
does.
Shaggy.
Great idea. Really awesome. Point is, you
Spider-Man.
would think we could show it on Cartoon Network.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't think Scooby-Doo is in Spider-Man.
No, he's probably in Space Jam though. The new one,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
If Warner Brothers owns it,
But Spider-Man's Sony now?
Oh,
still,
no.
yeah.
So
Really?
Spider-Man's not in Space Jam.
No.
Is Spider-Man,
Spider-Jam.
and does Marvel own Spider-Man now?
They got him back?
They
They licensed him back.
so basically they always owned the character, but the media rights were sold like by a contract with blood of the Lord Satan in perpetuity. Sony has the rights to like media.
Perpetuity?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it ran out.
I probably does in like 70 years or something.
Well, how do we get Spider-Man Homecoming then?
Because they just made a deal.
Oh,
those movies are
just business.
Yeah, they're business movies.
Okay.
So like technically those are Sony movies, but they have some deal. Like every time he shows up in a Marvel, I'm putting air quotes around that Marvel movie, there's like a deal with Sony.
Okay.
It's
what about
wild.
the Hulk? Why can't we have a Hulk movie?
Because they had the same kind of satanic eternal pact with Universal with the Hulk. Okay. But for whatever reason in the contract with that, they are allowed to put the Hulk in other movies as long as it is not a movie that is about the Hulk, or maybe it's not called the Hulk.
Wow.
They can throw him into other movies.
Yeah.
It's wild. Ugh. IP is a nutso labyrinth, man.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
I remember we would have contracts.
Don't worry.
That
Eventually
said,
they'll all be one company and they won't have to do this anymore.
Disney will release them all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Molly. What?
And you see it on things all the time where it's like, this is ours into perpetuity with any media that exists now or could be created in the universe.
Yes.
Yeah, because someone got
Space
shafted.
hologram.
Like Rad.
What?
Rad?
That movie Rad, the BMX movie Rad.
Sure.
You can't get it on VHS because they didn't get the music rights. They didn't get the rights to put the music that's in the movie on like a videotape, only in theaters.
Oh.
So then they went back. They're like, can we put Rad on VHS? And they're like, because there's like an iconic song in there that I can't remember now.
I see.
Call Me an Angel. Send Me an Angel?
I don't know.
Send me an angel.
Yeah,
That
Send Me
one
an Angel, yeah.
is in there while they're doing their BMX climax.
Okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
They should just put a different song in it.
I'm pretty sure when we watch this movie, it will still have the Macy Gray song.
Okay.
Because it is a Sony property.
Molly, how should we rate this movie that we've been talking about the whole time?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Been laser focused.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give you a couple options.
Wow.
One is New York Devo Goblin,
Uh-huh.
and the other is Raimi Day in New York.
The second one.
Yeah.
Rainy day in New York.
New York!
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Wow. I mean.
Okay, Raimi Day in New York actually sounds like a cafe experience or something.
Oh, okay.
Like you just go.
And it's like all Raimi
We're
stuff.
going down to Raimi's.
Yeah.
Get a cup of Joe.
It's got like
It's got like
props from all of Raimi's
bagels.
movies.
Yeah,
or
but
something?
also like classic New York food. So you can buy like a bagel, like a Spider-Man bagel, Evil Dead pizza.
Uh-huh.
Well, what's cool is it's like that Van Gogh immersive experience.
Oh, sure. Okay.
But
Which is not cool.
I hear
Hot
us-
take from Beth Gibbs. That was a waste of money.
Oh wow, I've never been. But here's what I assume: it's like a Raimi. Yeah, it's like a Raimi Day cafe.
Yeah.
But the way it's set up is you're just surrounded like 360 with screens,
Okay.
Oof.
and in the
that.
middle you've got all these kiosks with like a hot dog vendor. Or get your bagels. So you got like that New York feel through the food.
Are there
So
actually?
Now
Are they
that
actually?
I would pay for to go to that.
Thank you.
Are these actual vendors that they're like leasing the space to?
Yeah.
It's like one of those.
Actually, what happened is all the vendors were already set up, and they just built the screens around
wow,
them
okay.
to create the Raimi
So they're trapped in
experience.
there.
Yeah,
They can't get out.
Oh,
Where do they get new ingredients then?
through tunnels.
Okay.
So is it kind of one of those? I'm envisioning. Have you ever been to one of those like fake street markets? Like
Oh,
it's inside,
yes.
but it feels like all
Oh,
the stalls
sure.
look like
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
should be outside.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like
Nightmare.
a food truck center or whatever.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Except for they're trapped inside and they get their food from tunnels.
They get their food from tunnels, and they have to watch clips from Raimi films
Wow.
like
Films.
all the time.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
Dark.
intense, but free rent and lots of customers, and
How's the food?
I mean the food is delicious.
Oh, great. Okay.
So
Yeah.
these people work there,
Yep.
and they also have to live there. They can't leave, but at least they don't have to pay to be there.
They have like sleeping tunnels? Are there sleeping tunnels and food tunnels?
Listen, I haven't thought through the staffing
Okay,
issues.
okay,
I'm
sure.
just saying, and it's not like forever, right?
So you like
It's a
sign
Raimi-
a
It's like a
contract?
Pop up?
They're
It's
like,
like a pop-up.
indentured servants.
No,
instead
it's
of,
like a.
You
it's
sell
like,
hot dogs for 3 years and then
and then
and
you
then
get
you
to
get
go
a little
for,
piece of land out west.
Oh my goodness.
Owned by Sony Pictures.
Grim.
Anyway, that's the rating scale.
Great.
1
Rainy
to
day
5.
in New York.
Rainy day in New York.
And that's the number of days that you spend inside it.
You the customer or you the vendor?
You, the customer.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh.
when you go in there as a customer, you're also stuck in there?
Is this more like a resort?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And it's in
all
New York.
inclusive.
So it is an experience.
Yeah.
Is it in New York, or once you go in, it seems like you're in New York now, but it's actually in fucking Omaha? or
Does it
something?
matter?
It goes on tour, so everyone can get the New York experience. New York
like it's like a
experience.
circus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cirque du Soleil.
It's a circus experience. Resort.
Travels around the country.
Travels around the
So-
country. You are trapped inside of it, but only for a short amount
For
of time.
1 to
Yes.
5 days.
1 to
It's
5
nice
days.
that
Yeah.
you're trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
The
like
food's
it.
good.
It's pleasant.
Yeah, there's bagels and pizza
And
Yeah.
hot dogs.
and hot
All right,
dogs.
I'd sign up
And
for
like,
that.
I bet some of the vendors use like aerial silks, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You want mustard on your hot dog, and they just spin through, and they get all the
Nice.
condiments
Hell
on
yeah.
there.
Right, that's
great.
good Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
Right, he's spinning around.
Yeah.
And then like you
Spider
can
dog.
Yeah, and like you have the if you buy the right size pizza, you get to put a chainsaw in your hand and cut the pizza with it.
That's right.
Nice.
You know that reference.
I didn't get that, but okay.
And then other movies he's done.
Yeah. Ooh.
Anyway,
Dan, you go first, as we all know.
I do go first. Great.
Good job keeping that tight, everyone.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
Segment.
I loved this movie when it came out. I'm a big comic nerd. I was super pumped about it because this was like, I feel like this was the first time in the modern era that probably people felt when the Christopher Reeve Superman movie came out, where it's like, oh shit, he's actually flying and like looks like what you think Superman would look like. And this movie was like that, where it's like, oh my God, he's actually like swinging around the city and it's cool, right? Like it's not, I'm sure now some of the effects are like aged poorly, but overall it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It actually looks like a dude is doing that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was super cool and fun, and I loved it. And I'm worried that it will have aged. On some level, I'm worried it'll have aged poorly because it was 2000. So probably be some. Ooh, Dan's bet, quick bet. There will be some mild homophobia in the wrestling scene, which is a bummer. And I'm worried that this will be super cringe and you'll all hate it, and it'll be like Molly's Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift experience.
Wow.
And even I might be embarrassed by it because it's like, you know,
you're
movie of its
pre-embarrassed.
time. I don't know. I just know this was a movie of its time, and sometimes that turns out to be a bad time. But I'm going to optimistically say 4 Rainy Day New Yorks. So I will be staying in there for 4 days. I will
Wow.
be sampling a different cart each day.
Nice.
Great.
Bagel Monday, Hot Dog Tuesday,
Oh, no.
Pizza Wednesday, and Falafel Thursday.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, classic. Is that every meal? You're having 3 bagels on Monday?
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, are they more than one bagel? Or is it just the one?
Well, I mean,
Oh.
how many meals are you going to eat in one day?
No, I'm saying, can you get different kinds of bagels?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay, yeah, then yeah.
Yeah.
A breakfast bagel, lunch
Yeah.
bagel.
Yeah, everything bagel for dinner.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yum.
I accept it.
Thank you.
Beth,
Oh,
you
I
are
like
second,
that.
as we all know.
Yes. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not a fan of the many, many Marvel movies that have come out. I like some of them, but there's just too many of them, and I'd like some variety in the movies that are made. So, but I like Spider-Man a lot. Spider-Man's probably my favorite of the Marvel characters. And this was the first one, but also the things that you just said. So 4.
Wow.
And I will just follow the same schedule of each.
Oh, okay.
Great.
I mean, we'll be there together. We're there for 4
Might
days.
as well.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to stop at multiple places.
No.
Right.
Like we can just we'll share an itinerary on the first day and be like, yeah, this sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my name is Dan. I am third. I should be excited about this movie, but I'm not.
Great.
Oh, wow.
Like I like a Spider-Man. I like a comic movie. I kind of agree there's too many, and yet I've seen almost all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree too, but I still watch all of them.
Which I feel like that's how they get you. Like, what was the last time I watched? Some Thor movie, I think.
Sure.
Oh, I like the Thor ones.
Some of them are great. Some of them are terrible.
Real slog.
But it's like at this point, it's all fine.
Right.
Like I'll watch a Marvel movie. It's like fast food movies now.
Yeah, yes.
But also they spend so much money on it. It blows
Yes.
my mind. They could spend
It's
like
wild.
$1 billion and that
It's
was
fine.
That was fine.
Yeah.
Like
Think about all the good movies they could make for $1 billion.
yeah.
Like many of them.
Yeah.
I mean, most of those movies wouldn't cost $1 billion.
No, you just take that money and you make
Reallocate
many
it.
of them.
Yeah. But then no one. I mean, whatever. There's a
Yeah.
whole, we could do a whole podcast.
There's a whole.
about that.
I get all the reasons why, and like that's kind of the point that they're fine, right?
Right.
They're all Chris Pratt. It's like
Yeah.
no one's mad about it.
I'm mad at Chris Pratt.
Oh, okay, that's mad about it.
Chris Pine.
Well, I love
Sure,
Chris
he's
Pine.
fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah, he's good.
No, but Marvel movies. Chris Pratt is a Marvel movie. He's just in stuff, and he
Chris Evans. Who's the most mid Chris?
Pratt.
Not
Not
Chris.
Helmsworth.
No, Pratt.
He's the
People
most
don't
dreamy.
like Pratt anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess sometimes I don't like him.
Like as a person, like I think he's as an actor he's fine, but like as
Chris
a person, people don't
Columbus.
like it. Chris Columbus,
The director.
the most mid Chris.
I mean,
Okay.
I love him until I see 1492 Productions, and I go like, ugh.
Come on, buddy.
But also, it's like 30 years ago, so he's trying his best.
This is a lot.
This is a lot.
What's your rating?
Chris O'Dowd.
I like him
No,
fine.
I do too. Is he mid though?
No.
He's charming.
Evans might be mid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Jesus.
what about him in that sweater? Knives Out.
Yeah.
He's not always in the sweater though.
And
That's
he's
true.
so funny with Lizzo tweeting back and forth.
Oh.
I don't know
I've never
anything
seen
about
that. I
that.
don't know anything about that.
They flirt with each
I
other.
didn't mean for this to be a Chris segment.
Too bad.
I mean,
Okay.
But I will say Pine was great in the D&D movies.
Hell yeah, he
Speaking of
was.
IP that I want them to make 1,000 of.
Yeah.
Give me 1,000 D&D movies.
All right.
Keep the pine sap flowing. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
peek behind the curtain. This is taking a little longer than usual, and pizza is awaiting.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Pizza behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm going to swing my ropey splats to count out.
Oh,
This is literally the worst idea.
To the Coward Tower and give it a 3.
Nice.
wow.
Coward Tower. I love it.
I'm Molly. I go fourth, as we all know.
Yep.
And I first want to make a late breaking bet that I think Dan Jaquette at some point is going to complain about it being too fast. Edits are too fast.
Interesting. I
think
like
he's-
that bet.
I have a sub bet or a parallel bet. I think he's going to complain it's too long.
Oh, yeah, I could hear that. I'm feeling optimistic. I remember liking this movie. I'm sure there are some cringe moments, but I think it has a lot of heart to it, and I like Spider-Man a lot. I like how funny he is. And I find these movies typically pretty charming, and yeah, I'll watch a Marvel movie. I'm sorry, everyone. I like them for the most part.
You all are the problem.
Okay, great.
Almost everybody likes them. That's why they keep
Yeah.
making them.
We're all
Yeah.
the problem.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't like them, but they pay to see them.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I saw the last one. I should see this one
Yeah, you
too.
got to know
I-
what's going on in the universe.
at this point, I mostly just pay a streaming service to watch them at some point in my life.
That's fair. Yeah, I haven't gone to this theater. Okay. Anyway, I like the idea of hanging with my friends for 4 days
Hanging, I
at Raimi
nice.
Days in New York.
All right.
Okay, great. I'm not skipping Falafel Day.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're
Sounds like-
skipping Bagel Monday or
Pizza?
I guess I'm gonna. What was the third one? Hot dog. I'll skip Hot Dog Day. I don't.
Okay.
I don't dine on swine.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
fair.
are you allowed to leave and then come back if you
No.
paid for 4 days or
No.
3 days?
Well, can we change the schedule then? Can you do hot dogs
Yes,
first or last?
Fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Great.
Beth and I wrote out an entire itinerary, but fine.
And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch Spider-Man, the one with Tobey Maguire, and we'll be right back.
Hey, listener, it's
Ooh.
Dan
Oh.
Jaquette, your mid-roll friend.
Wow, mid-roll storm.
Yeah, I'm just here to tell you about a little something called Bone Tent.
Okay.
Oh, what?
This is
Sorry, did you say bone tent?
Bone Tent. Yeah, it's a cool insider term for
For-
bonus content.
Oh.
It is something we release every month.
Every month?
Yes.
Wow.
On website. And the website is patreon.com/totesrecall.com.
Nope,
No, but
that's good enough.
that's fine.
People
Close
get
enough.
there. They know not.
You only need
second-
one.com.
You decide
Pick which one, though, yeah.
And ordinarily, it costs money
Oh,
to have access to that. As little as $1, and there is no upper limit. But this month, our Bone Tent was reactions and readings of the Respect Listener Opinions Month survey.
Fun.
And it is back behind. Nope. It is out in front. There's a paywall, and this is
Not behind it.
not behind it.
Yeah.
It's in front of it.
Yeah.
No one says in front of the paywall, though.
No.
Just not behind. It's free. You don't need to pay anything.
Yeah.
Other than your internet bill,
Right.
which is probably due. Unless you're on autopay. Good job.
What's happening?
Go to patreon.com/totesrecall. No. And look for the segment titled something like Relob Survey Respond.
It'll be the thing that was uploaded on the 1st of the month.
And that month is June.
Yeah.
June 1st. And check it out. If you love it, great. If you'd like to hear more of that, you can give us your patron dollars and hear more. If not, and this is enough for you, also great.
Respectable.
Whatever you want to do.
We respect you.
Live your life and pay your bills.
Right.
Oh.
This has been Dan.
And
.com.
no.
Jaquette.
No.
No.
Totes. Recall.
Oh my God. We're in the middle of an episode.
The mid-roll friend. And now back to Spidey Man.
Ew.
And we're back. We just watched 121 minutes of rain kissing. I mean, other things happened too, like a really long fight. It was cool. I liked it.
It sounded like you were going to say and then you kind of paused and then.
The words at the front of the line had that intention.
Yeah.
And then it just turned out there were no words queued up after that.
Here's a quick peek behind our curtain. It has been Molly Midnight since yesterday
Yeah.
for this episode.
I had 2 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So it's going
actually,
great.
Grip it and rip it.
And it's
Right.
already later than it normally is for
Yes.
the second half of a
Because of
record.
an hour, 21
Because
minutes.
this movie's long,
There
and
were
we
other
also
reasons.
were behind in time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of time,
Oh.
one time that many people like.
Oh, a duration of time?
Yeah.
Oh, not
Okay.
like the 50s or
Oh.
the swinging 20s,
Sure,
roaring
sure.
20s. There it is.
The time is specifically 60 seconds.
Oh.
A lot of people like it. They give us awards when we do a segment called 60 Second
I see.
Summary.
Wow.
We're definitely
Wow.
getting a segue for that one.
Yeah.
The best segue
They're,
ever.
they're
Yes.
coming in on gliders, dropping in like green bombs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Technically, the bombs were orange, but they had green lights.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Great.
Oh, Molly
Great.
volunteered.
All right. Here.
Untraditional, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Dan, go
no,
ahead.
you should do it. You
No,
should do
it's
it.
fine.
Well, you just did it last time, so I kind of thought
Who
we could
knows?
skip the part where you volunteer.
You ready?
No, I'm just kidding. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Go.
We open on that Marvel animation, and
55 seconds left.
are we we're at his house. Okay. Peter Parker is a teen, and he's just trying to figure stuff out. He's had a crush on his next door neighbor, MJ, for since he was 6, and he's just trying to make it in school, and he gets made fun of a lot. He goes on a science trip with his classmates. Turns out he gets bitten by a he gets bitten by a spider.
30 seconds.
And then he has superpowers. He lives with his Aunt May and his uncle Ben, and he gets a really great speech about using your power responsibly, and then he gets into a wrestling match, and that's Randy Savage is in that scene, and he
10 seconds.
wins $3,000. Nope, he ends up winning a smaller.
5
you know
seconds.
what? He and then he and MJ don't end up getting together at the end.
Time. Did you
so
mention that he became Spider-Man?
It was
I think you said he gets some
assumed.
powers.
You said spider powers, I think. Superpowers? Yeah.
If you needed more of a recap of the movie, head to totesrecall.com/Spider-Man. Probably.
Yeah, it's probably.
Totesrecall.com and click on
Click on the
Spider-Man.
episodes.
It'll be.
There's
yeah,
episodes.
Episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll be there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that you're going to need it.
I just saying if.
I think that was probably 100% Utah.
I mean, it's definitely 100% Utah, but there's certain elements of a superhero movie that we maybe didn't touch on, like
were
a
just like,
super villain.
is Randy
or-
Savage in it?
Yeah, of course.
And
they-
then
Savage.
secondarily, they were like, did Willem Dafoe play a villain?
Right.
Yes.
Well, and it's sort of, I guess it was the origin story of Willem Dafoe's character, too.
I mean,
Yeah.
before
He was a
that,
goblin.
how much does Elizabeth Banks look like Parker Posey
Yes.
when she
Yeah.
has blunt bob?
Betty Brant
Yep, a
bangs.
lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
Theobald Betty Brant bangs.
To the point where
Benjamin Bratz Brenus.
Benjamin Betsbreus, Dan and I said, that's Parker Posey. Beth said, is it? And then she looked it up and said, that's Elizabeth Banks. And we went, oh. And then Molly went, that's Parker Posey. And then we had to go, Beth already looked it up.
Very confusing.
And then we looked up articles about how they get confused for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also in the movie.
It is.
Not that
was
I
all
want
part
to.
of it.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole newspaper. Yeah, he works for a newspaper.
Freelance.
Freelance.
What is that character's name that's like the editor?
J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons.
Oh, my God. Just
Wow.
best.
Choose it up.
Really
God
great.
damn best.
I love that.
Ugh. Best.
really fun.
It is the single best casting ever in a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Now.
J.K. Simmons does the voice of
So many things.
a lot of things,
Yes.
but he is in the game Portal 2.
Oh, yeah. Cave Johnson.
Yes, which is like so funny.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a treasure. Don't be a creep.
Yeah, don't be a creep.
Speaking of people we hope aren't creeps, I just want to say Tobey Maguire rocks this role so hard from the very opening monologue where he's like trying to explain who he is. He sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very natural.
In like being timid.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
funny.
uncomfortable. Like-
Uncomfortable, but also funny.
Yeah.
And he can cry on camera like none other.
Wow.
Raimi saw him in Spider-House. No, sorry.
Oh, that's why. No, that makes sense.
Spider-House
He's like, oh,
Rules.
he's already done a Spider movie. Yeah.
In Spider-House Rules.
That'd be a very different movie.
and
Right,
cast him in this, and the studios were all, no, put in someone else.
Okay. Like
Including
who?
apparently Scott Speedman. Do you
Who?
remember him from Felicity?
No. Oh,
Oh.
yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Wow.
Yes.
So cute. Anyway, he was considered. A bunch of people were considered,
I'm sure.
including Ewan McGregor, which I think is hilarious and weird.
What? How old was he at that point?
I mean, way too old to
Right?
play. I think whenever they say someone was considered, they just mean like really generally.
Yeah, or like someone at the studio's like, like a McGregor type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We looked it up, and Tobey Maguire was 26 when this was filmed,
Yeah.
playing a 17-year-old.
And Kirsten Dunst was 19.
Okay.
And James DeFranco was 23. James Franco. Okay, James Franco.
Hey, James.
Hey, it's me, Jimmy DeFranco. Oh, my dad's a big science man. He doesn't like that I'm a doofus.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of dad stuff in this
Hell
movie,
yeah, there
too.
was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dad's dead. Then surrogate dad is dead.
Oh, and then the guy who wants to be the surrogate dad.
Though great payoff. The whole time we were pretending that Willem Dafoe was the subtext of every line between him and Tobey Maguire was "Be my son."
Yeah, come be my son.
Because Tobey Maguire is good at science. Jimmy DeFranco bad at
Yeah,
science.
and he clearly respects Peter Parker way more than his own kid.
Yeah, but then it pays off at the end.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Where he actually says, "You could be my son."
He's like, be a son to me. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I mean, he says it like earnestly and not like an aggressive Mel Gibson in that one movie from years ago.
Oh, give me back my son.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like, you'll never take my freedom.
Yeah, that's
Wrong
it.
one.
Ransom.
That's what it's called. There we
Yeah.
go. I think, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there were a lot of really strong themes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dad
Dads.
themes.
Podcast over.
And you know what? Raimi really doesn't let you lose your train of thought,
No.
Yeah.
which I needed tonight. But just in general, like he's like, "Oh, did you remember who that thief was?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick flashback."
I mean, did you remember from 5 minutes ago? Like, it was like, how would you forget what?
You know
or
what?
not
I think
to
when I
make the
first saw
connection?
this movie, I did forget. I think I was like, "Who's that guy?"
Right.
Oh, the blonde hair.
Yeah.
You can't forget that horrible.
But you got to remember, Beth,
chips.
this was 2002. A lot of guys
Yeah, that's
had
true.
that.
The
Everybody had
Nickelback guy at the end had that same hair.
Yeah.
And he's not technically in the movie, but we did. Okay, so we
We
did
are
finish
all
the
over
film.
the place.
No big deal.
We finished
so
the film, and at the end, during the credits, there is an incredible song that we all were like, "Oh my God, I forgot about this."
Yeah, we did.
Is it called Hero?
It's just called Hero.
It's called Hero. Yeah.
Chad Kroger from Nickelback,
Yeah.
and
The lead singer
Some
from
guy.
Saliva.
Jody,
You know the
what was
band
his name?
Saliva?
Jody Swenson or something? What
yeah,
was it?
I don't remember. But they sing an incredible song that then we decided we had to watch the.
There are some incredible.
Hero sing us.
The eagles are flying away. Whatever.
There's like literally a line about eagles.
There were definitely some just like touchstones in this movie that were just like, oh, this is so early 2000s. Like Flash, the bully kid in high school, is like
Played by
Joe
Joe
Manganiello.
Manganiello of True Blood
And other things.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Wait,
What?
what?
He's a big
That's
D&D
him?
player.
Oh, okay.
The actor.
Joe Manganiello.
Doesn't he?
He's in the Magic Mike, right?
Yeah, he's gigantic.
That is him.
Yeah.
He's just a wee babe.
That just
Kong
blew
Skull
my
Island.
mind.
He's in Kong Skull Island?
He
Yeah.
looks so different.
Huh. I think he just grew a beard.
Either Skull Island or
Yeah,
Rampage.
I mean, he probably did, and then his hair went from being spiky to long.
Yes.
Yeah. He looks better now.
He looks so
way
much better.
Yeah.
But like he was the first, I feel like true touchstone of like this was a movie from the early 2000s because like there's a point where he's like where Peter Parker has accidentally flung an entire tray of like stew. I don't know. It looked disgusting onto him, and he runs away. And then Flash is like, "I'm gonna beat you up." But like, there's a shot of him like lumbering down the hallway, and he's wearing this like brightly colored polo shirt. That's a very specific fit. He has a gigantic wallet chain hanging out of his pocket.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
yeah.
Spiked hair.
Yeah.
Mary Jane Watson, also goes by MJ,
Yes.
played by Kirsten Dunst, has the most early 2000s outfits.
Yes.
Those low-rise
Those jeans.
jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's got
Tiny
low.
shirts.
I'm like, it's just,
It's a different time.
it's a different time. But it's coming back, right? I
Wait,
don't
that's
know.
coming back?
Wider
I thought
leg
high
is
jeans
coming
were
back.
coming back.
No, high jeans have been in.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've already been in. You idiot.
Oh, I don't know.
But
I just said it
Yeah.
sometime. It took me 4 years to buy a pair of pants.
Yeah, it's a look.
yeah, you gotta. This is a small aside. The other night I went to Benihana for a celebratory
Braggy.
dinner.
Very
yes,
braggy.
Wow.
and it was at the Mall of America.
Braggy.
La, la.
And I had noticed that all of my friends around the country were posting pictures of their kids at prom.
Oh, sure.
And it's straight dresses this year. Straight dresses with a slit, straight dresses with a little bit of cutout, but some
Like no
variation of
volume.
that. No volume.
Yeah.
And I walked through the Macy's. I parked West Ramp, no big deal.
You don't have that.
And walked through the Macy's, and it was just long dresses right and left. And then I got into the mall, and there were people there dressed for prom.
Hell
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're like going to dinner before prom.
Right,
and then I
sure, as you do.
realized as I looked over at Nickelodeon Universe, they were having fireworks. Not fireworks. That
In
sounds
the
like
mall?
No, that
like
can't be. That's illegal.
a light and
Laser
smoke
Light show.
show.
There.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
And I looked out, and there were like scores
Yeah.
of prom goers. There was prom
Wild.
at Mall of America,
Wild
Nickelodeon Universe.
That's
Okay.
where I had homecoming.
What?
What?
There's a
This
ball.
is a thing?
There's a ballroom
Is
inside
your
of
school made of money?
No.
What
no,
the
no. You can rent it. There's a ballroom.
Yeah, for
inside.
how much?
Not that much money.
Come on.
No,
You'd have
I
to
did not
be-
go to a wealthy school. I think it's just like you just rent it. It's
No, some Green Goblin entrepreneur
Yeah,
dad
yeah,
I
exactly.
can
drops
tell you
his kid off
there was
in a Rolls
never
Royce.
there was never another school dance like that
Uh-huh.
because it was in at the time Camp Snoopy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ballroom,
Local reference.
but also they had a DJ that also played the music videos,
oh,
which was
Hell yeah.
the best thing in the entire
Sure.
world because that's
Yeah.
more fun than just like hearing the music.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just see the music video and kind of like laugh at it with your friends. You're
Yeah.
like, look at how dorky I'm dancing. I'm trying to dance like that. Isn't it like I'm
Yeah.
cool.
I watched a music video just now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was A Hero Will
Jack-
Save Us.
Jack
Kroger and the lead
Wait,
singer of Selena.
is that song from the movie Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we were just talking about. That's right. We
Oh.
just watched that movie.
Wow.
Which features not only Chad Kroger,
Yeah.
but also Macy Gray, as
Yes.
predicted.
Boom.
Yeah.
She's in there. She's not singing the
Say goodbye.
She's singing My Nutmeg Princess
Something
or
like
whatever.
that, yeah.
And you know
What?
what? That would have been a hit song had they not put Hero Will Save Us at the end and the end credits.
It's true.
Yeah.
I honestly did not even remember she was in that movie and like would have forgotten. Like it's
Like you just now didn't remember until Dan said it?
no, I remembered after seeing it just now. But I just mean like I didn't remember she was in it originally,
Right.
and it's just like such a brief little cameo that it's like it's unimportant.
It's
I
so
don't
weird.
really understand why
Well,
it
like
happened.
the
honestly.
whole
Sony-
World Festival of Peace
Yeah.
was such a throwaway concept anyway.
But also
Yeah.
that, like now, in retrospect, like, now that I'm a cynical old man, like the idea of like this massive, like, defense contractor throwing a world unity concert in 2002 feels
Yeah.
so accurate.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah, we should maybe explain that what drives Octavius, no.
Harvey Oswald.
Harvey.
I guessed Osborn. It's actually Osgood. Nope.
Not
That's the other
Osgreen.
thing I wrote. Oswald.
Ford.
Nope.
Oz.
They said it so many times in
Osborn.
the movie. There you go.
Osborn.
And
Osborn.
it's also Harry
Yes.
Osborn.
And
Harry and Norman.
Yes.
Yep.
Storm and Norman.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They're the Goblin family.
Yes.
Norman, the senior,
Yes.
is a science guy, entrepreneur, who gets pushed to the edge because, basically cigar chewing minus the cigar general comes and says he can't wait to boot him off of their contract.
Yeah. The guy who you call when you can't book Robert Loggia.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, so that's why he injects himself in order to beat the deadline.
So he's in the chamber and it fills with green gas, green
They spent
smoke.
so much of their defense contractor budget on the
chamber.
The chamber and the animation.
Oh, right. I forgot about
I
the
just
computer
feel like
screen.
they can't be the most efficient way to inject.
I mean, no wonder they're going to pull their funding.
Yeah. Even if it needs to cover the whole body, the chamber's way too
too
big.
big.
It's huge.
No wonder the general probably saw that chamber. It's that's for one guy?
Yeah.
How much did the chamber cost? I don't know, $18 million.
Yeah. Just put it in a nose spray.
This is semi-connected to this and how science works.
Sure.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Spider-Man can do is climb the walls.
Yeah.
But his feet don't have little
They might.
his feet. He has shoes on.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time.
Does he though? I understand the actor has shoes on, but is he supposed to have shoes on? Do you know what I'm saying? Because
No.
if you draw a guy in a full jumpsuit, you can just say his toes are in there. Who cares? But they wanted to make it look like the suit and the costume or
I
in the
see
comics.
what you're
You know
saying.
what I'm saying?
Yes. So when he's in the Spidey suit,
maybe
his toes are also
poking little spinies out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would believe that, but in the first
Clearly, he's wearing shoes.
In the first scene, he's or not the first scene, but the first time that he's testing out his powers, he's pulling himself up the wall and using his feet, but he doesn't have his feet aren't exposed.
Well, he's just using them to thrust himself up, I guess, like a rock climber.
Yeah, so I guess he's pulling himself with his
a
arms.
spider with super strong 2 arms.
Wow.
Yeah. He does have the proportional strength of a spider or whatever.
He does. Also, props, wow, it is early 2000s, to Beth for correctly identifying there would be a extreme close-up of his fingertips.
Yeah, he's got kind of
fingers.
barbed hairs on his hands.
That's cool.
Yeah. What other science questions do I have? So many science questions.
Well, during the movie, you were deeply concerned that he went on the science field trip, got bitten by a spider, and at no point said, "Excuse me."
Yeah,
Should I
feel
be
like
concerned?
if I went on a field trip and someone was like, a spider is missing, and then later I get bit by a spider and I feel so sick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just be like, I'm going to go home. I would say hey, I got bit by a spider.
Here's what I'll say to that.
Okay.
Here's my theory.
All right.
He didn't realize the spider was missing because he was too busy being enamored by MJ, who was standing in front of the spiders.
Yeah.
He didn't go to the hospital because Uncle Ben was just let go of being the 35 years electrician at some company, and they don't have insurance right now.
Oh.
That's my guess.
Corporate monsters.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I would, even if he didn't know that the spider is missing, if a red and blue spider bites you inside of a spider
Yeah, it's wild that he was
place.
Yeah, it's wild that they were on a tour of this is the place where they genetically manipulate spiders, and
Yeah.
he's just huh.
Yeah.
Spider got me. Oh, well.
Ah, well, probably just a regular old house spider in this house of spider horrors that we're taking a tour of with the most intense public school teacher in the history of New York.
Yeah.
I love that guy so much.
He's
He's
like
great.
akin to the principal Skinner? Who's the principal of the Back to the Future movies?
Oh, what is his name?
Strickland.
Strickland, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he is like
It's just
Strickland.
wants everybody's ass.
Oh, my God, it's amazing.
Except for he's a little bit more justified, I think, than Strickland.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Because they legitimately are just talking the whole time.
But also, he's acting like they, killed his children in front of him. You know what I mean? He pops up in the frame and it's you were speaking through that entire woman's presentation.
I will fail you.
Yeah. Let's go talk about how we listen. And you just know he's going to bring Franco into a janitor's closet and
Yeah.
just whip his nuts
Oh my
with a
god.
broomstick or something.
Yeah. Like James Bond.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also awkward because he appears to be the exact same age as the actors.
It's awkward.
Like
If not
the high
younger.
school kids. Yeah. Kind of read younger.
Why is that kid so mad at James Franco? He's a class president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be a hall monitor on a field trip, Devin. God.
I will say the sort of transformation scene I think is well done. I appreciate that. It's like not too over the top. He goes to bed, and you obviously get a shot with him shirt off, and he's a scrawny dork.
Yeah.
And then he falls down sick.
Don't forget that a bunch of skulls flashed across the screen.
Oh, that was wild.
That rocked.
There's a lot of stuff that you're like, oh, this is definitely a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
Like,
He was like, oh, they like the Evil Dead movies. I better put some freaky shit in here.
unnecessary jump scares.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
disagree.
Okay. All right.
I did love there was a moment when Tobey Maguire was like about to fall asleep, like after he had been spider bit and he got home. And as he fell, you just didn't know which way he was going to land, and he lands on the bed. And I think it was at you, Dan. It was like, oh, at least he landed on the bed, and then he just
slid off.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was good.
But then you see him get up, and now he's jacked.
So jacked.
First, he doesn't need his glasses.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he goes, that's weird, and now he's jacked.
Oh, that'd be the best thing in the entire world.
He uses his incredible new vision to see how shredded he is.
Yeah.
And also, goddamn, Toby.
Yeah, he's shredded.
Oh,
He
sure
must have
is.
worked hard. So they must have shot
Yes.
that first part, and then, or did they have a body double?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
CGI
Did
skinny.
they have did they trust the technology enough to do that then, like they did with Chris Evans?
Well, I'm so glad you brought that
Oh,
up.
good.
Oh, wow.
I have some insight into this. I will say
Really?
that Tobey Maguire spent a few months doing martial arts and yoga and like just working out, trying to get built for
Just
this.
eating cod.
Yeah, just
every
eating
day.
cod,
Yeah.
just the rock in it. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
We got it.
Okay, got it. I just didn't know. Anyway, so he did do that, but also this was one of the first movies where they incorporated more animation. And they tried to make it as seamless as possible because part of the trouble is with Spider-Man's costume, you can't see his eyes or his mouth.
Right.
You can do a lot with physicality to express the personality, but it wasn't quite enough. So the animators were able to do that. So it was pretty advanced animation at the time, and they spent a lot of money on it. One thing that I really enjoyed learning about Raimi is that he wanted to make sure that none of the shots were ever all CGI. So that means they had to do really tedious things like cut footage of cars, like frame by frame in, so that it would look
Sure.
more real and more normal. So I don't know how to say it. He did work out.
Yeah.
That was a long way of saying he definitely worked
I mean,
out.
the second half of that had nothing to do with him working out.
Well, but no, you were asking if like where CGI was and would they have trusted it to show his skinny body like they did. And
So the answer is no.
I don't know, but they were real proud of their
I
animation.
mean, they should be. It looked pretty good for
It looks
2002.
pretty good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Like most shots held up. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yep.
There's definitely some parts where you're like, oh, that his body's bendier than it should be.
The one thing that did look awesome from a CGI perspective
Here we
is
go.
when Henry Cobblestone,
Yeah.
the Green Goblin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry Collins.
Classic Marvel character, Henry Cobblestone.
All right.
Oh, Spider-Man!
hey, it's me, the Goblin. You're gobbling up.
That's right.
Real estate.
Yeah.
In
that's
London.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
chip. He attacks the Unity
The
Festival.
Hobgoblin's name
Yeah.
is Harry Leeds, I think. Norman Leeds. Something Leeds. Nathan Leeds. It doesn't matter.
What?
I don't know. Leeds is a city in England. Shut up. Forget it.
Oh, I get it.
Beth, leave this in. That shut up was for me, by the way, listeners. Not my beloved co-host.
Like, what? It's unlike you. Usually, like throwing out things at random desperation is either me or Dan, the other Dan.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you down with me. It's
What were we
usually
talking
just
about?
me.
Henry
Are we
Cobblestone?
fighting?
What's CGI in the movie
Henry
Spider-Man?
Cobblestone, the Green Goblin,
Yes.
attacks the World Unity Festival because he's mad that the army
Oh,
contractors
hell
fired
yeah.
him.
I know where this is going.
And he throws a pumpkin green bomb
Yeah.
at them. There's like a one frame where they turn from humans to terrible skeletons.
Oh,
Like,
so
they
good.
look like the skeletons from Evil Dead 3,
Yeah.
Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Just like, we'll get in when he comes
so
back in.
good.
That's right. I'd forgotten all about that.
Skeleton Bomb was amazing.
Yeah.
Because like
I lost my mind.
what was amazing about it, like they'd already like that whole sequence when he first flies in, like he'd already thrown like a bunch of conventional explosives at like the area around them. So
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, okay, he's throwing another bomb. No. this pumpkin is apparently has skeleton radiation that vaporizes them
And then their
into
bones
dust.
turn to dust. Yeah.
Amazing.
It really made me laugh.
Oh, so good.
In that same scene, MJ is on like a balcony that is crumbling
Yeah.
because of an explosion.
Yeah.
And she's like, help me, help me, help me, help me. And the whole time, I mean, she's up there for maybe like 5 to 7 minutes.
It was
And
like a 70-degree angle.
I will defend her on this because, like, if you're teetering on the edge, like if you shift your body weight, it was going to fall more.
or you have to move your hand to another handhold.
But what? Okay.
You gonna trust yourself in that problematic outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing traditional East Asian garb.
It's world unity.
It's
I'm sure she thought it was appropriate,
Yeah.
but come on, MJ.
But it's like, I mean, if anybody comes to save her, that's just adding more weight to that balcony and more chance of it to.
Throw her a rope or something.
Yeah,
Where are they going to get a rope?
from your weird jizz wrist.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Oh, by the way, did somebody write
yes.
down Molly's quote during
Yeah,
this?
I did.
Yeah. So
I deny it.
listeners, the
Speaking
first
of-
half will know that
There was discussion.
Molly was not one of the most on board with hashtag just talk.
Shooting ropes.
Shooting ropes out of his wrist. And yet,
And yet.
during the viewing of the movie, at one point, Spider-Man
She was
web...
upset using the word splat.
Yeah.
In
He
the,
was splatting
in
his
the
walls.
incorrect way.
Yeah.
She was like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Cut to.
Cut to Spidey webs Green Goblin right in the face.
Well, I think it was when they got JK in the
Oh,
mouth.
JK in the mouth.
Yeah.
And Molly just goes, whoa, jizz in the eye. And then goes back to looking at her phone.
Yep. It was amazing.
Yeah, we were shocked.
But delighted.
It was shocking.
It was
was
delightful.
shocking. And I did, I did notice.
I think it was just because it was so like nonchalant,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, jizz in the eye.
She just said it like she says it all the time.
Yeah. It's Molly's catchphrase. True Totes heads will know that's Molly's catchphrase.
But yeah, on that same subject, Beth, I couldn't help but notice that during all the web slinging, you were having a hard time.
Yes.
The worst one is when
his bedroom?
his Aunt May comes up and is like, "What's going on in here?" And then he's like, I'm just exercising, and it like he closes the door and it cuts to like a wide shot of the room. And it's just
Covered.
everywhere. And that was the one where I had the hardest time.
strands hanging off of every surface.
It's also like that's the same cover up. Like some teen boy would go, "Oh, Mom, I'm just working out in here."
Changing, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Really made a mess of his room.
I mean, I never thought of it that way before, and I will never unsee
I
it.
am
It's hard to
so
unsee it.
sad that this is a thing now.
I mean, it has been for 20 years. At
But I
least.
didn't know.
I mean, that might have been why in the later ones they went back to the original comic version where you just built a machine that did it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't always have innate
Yeah.
slinging power.
Organic rope slingers.
God.
Do you know how many children you would have in the city of New York?
Molly,
Holy jeez.
you know sperm dies like lower than a certain, or above and below a certain
I'm just
temperature.
saying,
Okay.
like, the shots on goal to just...
Wow.
This is Midnight Molly.
This is amazing.
This is after Midnight Molly.
Yeah.
Okay, this is.
Molly After Dark.
I swear to God, this is tangentially related to the movie Spider-Man. This reminds me of when this was years ago. They were talking. There was some experiment they were doing where they were trying to, because they're like one of man's greatest challenges was to try to like create a version of spider silk that we could actually use because it's so strong. Like its tensile strength is so crazy for how thin it is. And my brother found some article where they were like trying to, it was some experiment where they were like altering the udders of goats so that like their milk just had like a different consistency because they're trying to like recreate like spider silk
Oh, wow.
through goat lactation.
Poor goats.
And then my brother created this amazing visual in my head of just some dude swinging around New York with an udder on each wrist.
Go to
Chef's kiss.
Wow. Hit us up, scientists. Where are we at with
Yeah, where we at with
goat
that?
silk?
Goat silk, baby.
Yeah.
Give me them udder gloves.
Oh my gosh.
Utterly amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of amazing,
The Amazing
Spider-Man.
Randy Savage.
I was going to say
that? Are you
Macho Man
really?
Randy Savage was in this movie, and he ruled, and his fan base also ruled.
Yeah. Bonesaw.
Oh my god!
Oh, the like prop, like the
Yes.
cardboard
The
with like
super
wrapped in
fans.
foil
Oh my
saws
God.
that they would rub on their
Every time
arms.
they cut to those fans with the prop saws, I just lost my
man.
mind.
Yeah.
He refused a stunt double
Hell yeah.
to do a mid flip. So
Yes.
he did the stunt and injured himself.
Of course he did. He's a pro.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
I was.
Bonesaw is ready.
He's really good. We get Bruce Campbell in there.
Yes.
Little Raimi Easter egg.
Can I be a Molly for a second and tell a
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell story?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're always telling us stories about Bruce Campbell.
You know what I mean. So when the third one was about to come out, I think he was at Comic-Con or something. And he talked about how he's just
The
like
third Spider-Man?
Yeah, third Spider-Man. And he was like, in the first movie, I'm the one who, I gave Spider-Man his name. And then in the second movie, I'm the one person who defeated Spider-Man because he plays a maitre d' who doesn't let Peter into a restaurant or something.
Okay. And
then he said and he basically just said I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but in the third one, I'm Spider-Man.
That's great. I love Bruce Campbell a lot.
Don't be a creep.
Yeah.
He was in it. He was in it. Sam Raimi.
Yes. I thought you were asking.
No,
I was like, yes.
Was
man.
that him in it?
Yeah.
But also Lucy Lawless was in it
Yes.
from
Oh.
Xena.
So good.
Wow.
And-
Where did she show up?
She was in the montage of the most New York people in the world talking about Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Right after the two greatest men in sweatshirts ever. It was just he shoots ropes out of his arms, whippy-doo.
Those guys seemed real to me. Like everybody
Yeah.
else seemed like an actor that
But
was
those
they just
two,
seemed
yeah.
like they were just around and they're like,
Maybe they worked on the
Yeah.
movie. I bet they were part of the
honestly,
crew.
Can
Yeah.
you just describe what you think Spider-Man does?
Yeah, we've shot one scene. Just tell us about Spider-Man. But yeah, Lucy Lawless is like a punk girl, and she's like, a guy with 8 arms. Sounds hot.
Oh, yeah.
that was her.
Yeah.
Great line.
And
Great
then
delivery.
his brother, I can't remember his name now. Ted Raimi
Yeah.
is also in it. He's he works at the newspaper.
Yeah. There's a really good joke with him and JK where he picks up the phone and abruptly shouts his name into the phone, and then he walks into the office like, what? And he looks at the phone. It was a good gag.
It was good.
Good gags.
There's a lot of really good gags.
JJJ in this movie.
Speaking of New Yorkers, we
Please.
did, as predicted, get the New York Solidarity, America's Back, mission accomplished scene when he saves. Oh, Molly had the choice between the lady he loves and a bunch of steaks.
Green Goblin literally called it a sadistic choice.
Yeah, it came about. The steaks happened to be a gondola full of children.
Yes.
Yeah.
But same idea.
Same idea.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I know
they
Molly.
raised the stakes.
I know Molly thought it was
And
a
threatened to
truck
drop
full
them.
of beef. but-
Molly is a known steak lover.
Yeah.
Considers steak to be as valuable as children.
Yes.
Not for the same reason. No one is suggesting that Molly.
No one on this podcast is suggesting that anyone should be eating human children.
Yeah, that is not what Molly.
But what Molly
thinks.
is saying,
no
is
matter
that-
what people are saying.
But what Molly, to clear up the record, what Molly's saying is that the value of beefsteaks is equivalent to children.
yes,
No.
not because they're as delicious as each other.
What?
And to everybody who's saying that, you are wrong.
But their market value in an abstract way.
None of that is true.
But Spider-Man saves them both somehow.
Yeah.
Who saw it coming?
Right.
I did.
Okay. That was when you looked up from your phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then everybody on the New York Bridge starts throwing trash or whatever at the Green Goblin.
Amazing.
And they're like, you mess with one of us. Hey,
Yeah.
you mess with all of us.
Although I
New
did like
York.
why are you interrupting a guy trying to save children?
Yeah.
Take this. Did they throw a literal pumpkin at him? Was that like an
I think
irony?
they were throwing trash at him in general.
Okay,
the
got
best,
you.
the MVP of that. I mean, there were MVPs every single scene that they were outdoors.
Yeah.
There was an MVP of this is the most New York person I've ever seen. But the best one during that scene was there's the first super New York guy just he's trying to save little children. Come on. And then this other guy just comes out of the shadows here's something for your ass. Just throws a pipe at him or something.
Yeah, the emphasis on ass is the wrong.
So good.
Yeah.
For your ass instead of for your ass.
So good. I loved
It's
it.
actually for his ass. Yeah.
Wow.
Fun.
We also bet Stan Lee would be in this.
Yes.
He saves a child.
Yes.
Not as big of a cameo as other movies.
No, he's
Yeah.
usually got like a full-on like winky line to camera.
Yeah,
And he's just
yeah.
sort
And
of,
this
like,
one,
in there.
he's like, there's something happening, and then he like grabs a kid to like get them out
I
of the
think
way.
the more off, like once they started making more and more movies, they're just like, I mean, it's weird if we just have this same guy be a silent extra in every movie. Right?
I definitely didn't know who that was
Yeah.
when I saw it, which I remember now seeing in theaters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Beth, you were correct. I
about
want to clarify. So you made it. So we talked about, was this the first movie that kind of kicked off the whole generation of action movie films? And then during the movie,
I don't know about action
Comic-
movie
no,
films.
sorry, comic
Okay.
related films. And then as we sit down, Beth was like, "Oh, what was I thinking? We've watched like at least 3 of the Batmans
Yeah.
on this show. I know they predated.
I've watched at least 3.
least
yeah.
three.
these
That's
three. A total of 4.
Which 3 are those, Molly?
Oh, Batman, Batman and Robin, Batman Returns, Batman Forever.
Wow.
Great. In what
quickly.
order were they?
No, okay. Tokyo Drift.
Yep.
But it did kick off because it was the most successful
There it is.
action movie.
Action movie?
Oh,
comic
dang
book.
it. Comic hero movie to date. And it was, it earned over 100 million in 3 days for the first time.
Damn.
Wow.
In I think ever in history, and it just outperformed and it did better than Harry Potter.
Wow.
So anyway,
So they
that was
Took
like
that S in Spider-Man.
yeah,
they did.
put a
Put a line
dollar.
down there.
Yeah, they did.
So you were right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Great job.
Very welcome. Great job.
Beth, you maybe also bet that there would be no Twin Towers in this?
Did
No,
I?
Molly.
I didn't
That
bet
was
that.
me.
I
I don't think it was a bet either, just a declaration.
Yeah, I was trying to segue.
Oh, you did great.
What were you trying to segue into?
I don't know. Was there Twin Towers? I didn't
No.
notice.
No.
No, they had to
They
cut
had
them
to do
out.
that.
They cut them out.
Yeah, and they had a movie poster that also had.
They had a trailer that was aged very poorly, where they he traps a helicopter between the two of them. That was like one of their
Oh,
first
my
teasers
gosh.
of the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because he made a big web between them. Not that he
And then I had forgotten this, but I remembered it when I read it that like there's this whole thing where Sony was like, "Oh, it was never going to be the movie. The trailer was just cut, whatever."
Yeah, right.
And then later Sam Raimi was like, "Well, yeah, it was definitely gonna be in the
We
movie."
shot it.
But
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? They would
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, we knew that it was going to happen."
yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
What?
Wait a
Sony
minute.
did
Sony
9/11?
Pictures? The position of this podcast is that Sony Pictures knew about 9/11 ahead of time.
Yeah. It checks
And
out.
decided to
check out.
I
capitalize.
don't have any
it.
evidence against
Exactly.
I mean, if you think about the temperature that steel melts,
Yeah.
I think Sony did 9/11.
Well, and if you think about like how much they would definitely want to recut a film that they had already
Right.
invested millions of
Yes,
dollars
of
in,
course.
For
it
the
all adds up.
publicity.
Follow the money
Yep.
to who lost the most
Yes,
money.
exactly. Can we
Oh,
quickly?
I am just so glad though on the whole 9/11 topic that it didn't like. What were the jokes? What was the guy?
What? The guy?
Osama bin Laden?
No, that's not funny.
What were the jokes?
Rudy Giuliani.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like that there
Oh, the
wasn't
jokes
at the end.
we made
Yes.
in Beth's living room?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there are a lot of moments that are like subtly and not so
Yes.
subtly,
Yes.
like USA United,
Right.
including the "you mess with New York, you mess with all of us" or
Yeah.
whatever. But there's so many American flags.
Yeah, like
And
the
so,
movie literally ends with him landing on a giant American flag.
yeah, throughout the film, we were mostly also Dan was making jokes about God bless. What did you say? God bless Richard Cheney or something?
Yeah. Like once we got to the part where like New Yorkers were like into Spider-Man, it's just like it just felt so on the nose that like it was so close to one guy being like, George W. Bush, the greatest president of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a time.
It was
It
a
was
time.
a time.
A maid could fall in love with a Republican senator.
That's right. And speaking of someone who is not of a time because he's timeless, is Willem Dafoe, who
Fucking
chews
psych-
the shit out of this
God
movie,
damn it.
and I loved every moment of it.
Like, did they even need him to wear a mask?
Yeah,
I think they really didn't.
Right?
and the mask is insane.
It's insane. I mean,
It was like his costume was like 536 pieces.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, and he insisted on doing all of his own stuff because he wanted to have the physicality expressed.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So
which
that lean,
he nails.
I mean, he does a good lean.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
the lean goblin.
Yes,
at the
let's
end,
talk about it.
after he's gone like full Green Goblin insanity and has trapped Peter Parker on the roof and is like, I'll be your dad.
Wait, is this the scene after he just goes sleep and shoots gas out of his wrist? That was
Yeah.
great.
Yes, it is.
God damn it.
He proposes that they'll be a team.
Yeah.
And then he just so
It's
casual
like,
and
he
playable. He
practically
pops him on the head.
Pops him on the head.
And then just does a jaunty little lean
it's
across
incredible.
He's so good. I don't know. It's such a wild character.
It's so fun.
He's out there. He's got to vacillate between like businessman, scared dad, and like
Insane
cackling
goblin
man. And he does it within the same scene. He's going back and forth.
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
to do a monologue with himself.
That was so
Yeah.
fun.
That
I
was
love
great.
that scene.
There's a scene where he's talking to himself in the mirror.
Yeah, there's
and
this-
it keeps cutting back and forth.
The best part is when Goblin is like in the mirror. He's just like, he shows him the headline of a newspaper, and then he turns around and reads the newspaper as Norman and is like genuinely horrified. Oh,
Yeah, that was great.
does that mean that Green Goblin already read today's paper? He's like, this is going to be awesome.
He wakes up, he's like, I can get my coffee.
Don't even talk to me till I've had my coffee.
Life without cats.
What?
Don't even.
What? Cats?
This is just Green Goblin with like generic driftwood side shit. Yeah.
Totally.
Live, laugh, love.
Life without cats. I don't think so. That's the one I'm trying to remember.
It's wine o'clock somewhere, Spider-Man.
In this house.
I would watch an entire like scene, like one take scene of him just rattling those off. Yeah, like you knew that they had cast this character right when in the first scene after
Science is real.
when he throws his scientist friend out of the largest gas chamber in all of laboratory science,
Yeah.
and then he just like jumps up on the edge of it and just does this like weird little gargoyle crouch with his like absolutely like tough leathery muscle skin.
Yeah, he's
lean beef in this
lithe.
movie.
He is lean beef.
Goddamn.
Yeah, and wiry.
Yeah, he's great.
Everybody is. Nobody drank a drop of water
Oh.
during their torso shots
Certainly
for like
not.
days ahead of time.
Can we take a brief moment? We've been talking a lot about fit people
Yeah.
in the peak physical prime. Can we talk about a couple of sweet oldos for a second?
Yes.
Oh, my
Oh,
yeah.
God.
His aunt and uncle are such sweethearts. Every single scene with them is a delight, but every scene after Uncle Ben has died is like the most heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Always is she like everywhere that Aunt May goes, there's also a family photo. Or like she has a photo of Uncle Ben that she pulls out of her purse or something. I don't remember.
That was probably the most wild part of the movie is like there's a point where she's going to bed and she's praying the Lord's Prayer and she has this adorable little photo of Uncle Ben in like a Yankees hat, and it's like the sweetest scene in the movie that then immediately gets turned into the most absurd scene in the movie where the Green Goblin blasts a wall open and then insists she finish the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah,
that scene is intense.
yeah.
It was
That's
awful.
some Raimi horror shit there
Yeah,
too. where
for
she's
sure.
like, from evil.
Yeah.
And cackles.
Yeah, if you want to see what happens when Sam Raimi has been given the green light for making a Spider-Man movie, go watch the second one where the entire birth of Doc Ock scene is like basically Evil Dead with robot tentacles. It's
Oh.
amazing.
I like that guy. Plays Doc Ock.
Molina?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is good. Anyway, they're sweethearts, and goddamn, yeah, when he dies, it's just
Oh, that's really sad.
It was
They bring it.
even harder.
they
It was-
understood the assignment. Those two,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Yep.
And you don't need big name actors like Martin Sheen and what's her name?
You tell him.
Yeah.
There's Martin Sheen and Andrew Garfield.
Sally Field. There we go. I mean, they're fine, but come on.
What's
Are
Sally
they in
Field
the new
do?
one?
She's the Aunt May.
I haven't seen any of the new
Marissa
Tom Holland
Tomei?
ones.
Marissa Tomei,
No,
she was
that's
in the
the
middle
Tom
ones.
Holland ones.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's great.
She
She's
plays
great in everything.
Aunt
Aunt
May.
May.
But Sally
But
Field,
like a younger,
Sally
cooler.
Field
Yeah, I
is
was gonna
Aunt
say
May.
she doesn't seem like she should be Aunt May.
No,
age.
she's the cool. She's,
she's
the cool,
cool
aunt.
young aunt.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it's
she's
probably-
also timeless.
yes, absolutely. She's a treasure.
Speaking of women, this
Thank you, Beth.
this movie does not pass the Bechdel
Really?
Wallace
It
test.
really
Oh,
doesn't.
that's so sad.
There's a scene during Thanksgiving where MJ and Aunt May are in the same room and they kind of are speaking. They both speak in the scene.
Yes.
But they don't speak directly to each other. And Aunt May, I think, says something about a man.
Devastating.
Can't remember. So there's not, it does not pass.
Oh, speaking of women, future superstar Octavia Spencer
Oh,
shows up
yes.
out
Wow.
of nowhere at the wrestling match.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And she kills it.
She kills it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
she's this sarcastic, I don't know, form waiver person.
Yeah,
And she says something about like your probable bodily harm, and she delivers it so perfectly.
She
does a great job.
it
What a joy.
Absolutely destroys.
yeah,
It's amazing.
that was wild.
the wrestling. While we're on the wrestling,
Yeah.
speaking of wrestling, it confused me because like by all accounts it's professional wrestling.
Right.
We have Macho Man Randy Savage,
Athletic entertainment.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is not trying to kill each other.
Yes.
It's a semi-scripted, improvised show.
Yeah.
It's not a actual fight.
Right.
Sorry, wrestlers, which is not something I understood till I was an adult. Like
Wrestlers do really get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not,
But they're not-
trying to kill each
they're
other.
not trying to hurt
No.
each other. They're trying to put on a show.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like
That has the appearance of a
right,
fight.
because he like literally like tries to like whip his head with a golf club.
Yeah,
at some point.
But this in the movie,
Yeah.
like it's more like a MMA cage fight
Yeah.
where they are trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
And I couldn't quite figure
Maybe
that
the
out.
idea is that you're an amateur, so you don't have the training to like do the choreography, so you're
Okay.
just inevitably going to get your
They're just
ass
doing
whooped.
a shitty job.
Yeah. Like maybe Randy, like he like mutters to them between throws, and they just don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, it's my understanding that wrestlers like practice together, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like whatever they're doing is some underground kind of.
I mean, it was largely
it was like on
advertised
the
in the
newspaper.
local paper.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
there.
it was also really funny. He's trying to find Peter Parker's trying to find a car
Yes.
because
He learned that
Joey
women love cars.
Maga flashing out.
Flagga? Oh no!
No, Flashinella.
What?
I'm trying to combine Flash and Joe Manganiello.
Oh, okay.
Maga Flashinella.
Sure.
Flash.
Jumping mag flash.
Doesn't matter. He gets a car.
Yeah.
MJ likes the car.
Yeah.
Women, am I right?
Wow.
And so Peter Parker's going through the ads.
Yes.
Haha, he has to keep flipping because he doesn't have any money. And then he's like, here's the cheapest car. It costs like $2,900. And then immediate below is an ad to win
Yes.
$3,000
Yeah.
wrestling.
It's great.
So good.
They knew how to place an ad.
Yeah.
they did.
They sure did.
Yeah. And we get, just, I don't know. The right way we get the hand holding that Raimi does, we were
Yes.
talking before. We get so many like fades in and out of like newspapers or other characters happening the entire movie. And like,
It's a
Just a
very
different
cool. Yeah, I love those gags. I love the like reminders of this is a comic book, right?
sure.
And then we talked too about the scene where he's learning and he splats on the wall in a
Does splat on the wall.
non-sexual way.
And I never realized it was a windshield.
Yeah,
Like a painting
Yeah.
of a windshield. With
Yeah.
the mural.
Yeah.
it's an ad,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a windshield.
That's
LOL.
really good.
It is LOL.
Yeah, there's so many bits that, and also it's interesting too because the script is really tight and it feels mostly really consistent, but sometimes it gets super New York, super 1950s. Like Tobey Maguire at one point has to deliver a line that starts with G. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's wild.
We did all say afterward, gee.
But apparently these scripts took like 25 years for this movie to get made.
What?
And James Cameron wrote a version of it
Sure.
that was like darker. It went through so
I'm
many
sure it did.
iterations. Honestly, I didn't read about it because it looks so boring. And
Yeah.
it was so many paragraphs. But
Yeah.
yeah, 25 years to get this like actually filmed.
Where were you were reading about it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. it
Do you have a
was-
book or do you have like a coffee
Oh,
table
like
book
a
for
Spider-Man, the making of?
No. I just pulled up a website.
Spider-Man.com?
No,
Spider-Man,
I
the movie facts.com.
Org.
Dot
Org.
net.
org. No, actually, it was
Oh,
Wikipedia.
Dot web.
Wikipedia. Molly looks up
feeling. This is the most early 2000s rock-inspired version.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you chose to pick that.
We've been holding on to
particular
this one for a
intro.
long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, this one is
I'm
special.
just glad
Yeah.
we spent the time to put the metadata in so that
Yeah.
Beth could pull.
I'm
it
also
up.
glad that we paid for that sample of someone else covering Pearl Jam badly.
Wow. I was correct that scene, that upside down kiss scene,
Yes.
which I found moving once again, even as an adult.
Yeah, I mean,
For,
it's still
real
like
person.
weird to think of it as like it's hard to separate yourself from just like, oh, those are two actors that are just like having to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a great job of making
They
it
sell
not
it.
look like
They sell
he's
it.
gulping for air. But anyway, they both said it was really not a romantic scene and really challenging to film.
I'm sure.
But apparently, Maguire and Franco had tension on set because Franco was really into Kirsten Dunst, who
Oh.
was dating Tobey Maguire at the time.
Wow.
So I was also correct that they were dating.
Okay.
That's something.
Yep.
So that tension is real on screen.
Yeah.
And then Franco took it out on
Other
several young women.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Sure.
I
we don't know.
I mean, some of it's just like it's not alleged. It's like, literally they went to a acting program. Google it.
Okay. Wow. Well, or you could Wikipedia it. Oh, and one other thing I did look up was that because I felt so embarrassed I couldn't remember who the writer was, and it's Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the original.
He just wrote a book about.
Yeah. He just wrote a new book, I think.
Here's why I didn't throw that
Or it
name
was
out.
an old interview.
Here's why I didn't throw that name out when you first said it in the first
Yeah.
half. It's like I've listened to him talk before.
Yeah.
And the idea of him making someone cry didn't seem feasible to me.
Maybe I was. You know what? We'll go with.
BMB.
Yeah,
Sweetheart.
really?
I don't know. You tell
just
me.
Rude?
No, he's just kind of, I don't know. He's just a goof. He's a goof.
No, he was not goofing around
Okay,
on this.
maybe
Krista Tippett or whoever
Yeah.
it was
God,
just brought
into
out
the-
this
just the
just
meat
like
of
the
it.
NPR. I mean, is it surprising? I listen to NPR. It's so embarrassing, but it's true. Anyway, yeah, maybe they just brought out the more serious
Maybe.
side.
I mean, granted, I haven't heard him since like around 2002. So things have changed.
We've been through.
Oh,
We've
that's
all
been a
been
long
through so
time.
much.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know.
Okay.
But I do try to fill the gaps. I will tell you, listener, that I sometimes listen to these podcasts later and I think, why did I never follow up on this thing? And I know the reason why, and I still feel frustrated. So
What's the
I do
reason?
for you, because I don't remember anything.
What are you not following upon?
Well, no,
This
I'm
time
trying,
she is
I'm
following up.
trying for the sake of our listeners who are respected, even
That was
though
last month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they can deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying really hard. That's what I want you to
We're all
Okay.
trying hard. Speaking of who else tries hard, our listeners try hard.
And we respect them to some extent.
Briefly.
Yeah.
On record night. What? On record night, we put out a call for questions and comments to our
yes.
Discord, which you can have access to if you're a patron.
.com.
.com. And Fra asks, is Willem Dafoe scarier without the mask?
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was pretty scary when you can see both of his mouths.
That is very
like
unsettling.
the mask
Yeah.
has teeth, and then also you can see his teeth.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. I do honestly feel sad they didn't. Apparently, that was the second mask they tried. The first one had a lot more like animation to
Yeah,
it.
it looked cool as hell. But it
Yeah,
probably would have been really hard to
but yeah,
film an
apparently,
entire movie.
apparently, yeah, it was just really challenging. But I almost wish they'd just gone for something a little less. And there's also that really powerful scene where Spider-Man's mask gets ripped in half,
Yeah.
much as he is getting ripped in half by
Yeah.
a terrible choice.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was like, I really wish they could just knock some of that mask off of Willem Dafoe. And I guess they do it at the end.
Yeah.
He ends up without it, but
Do you think that the mask includes a little lift up the yellow eyeball buttons because Willem Dafoe couldn't see shit when those were down?
It must be, right?
Right?
yeah.
Or does it just like what you were saying, like, oh, this is the only thing he has to emote with? with that mask on? So they were like, let's show his eyes more. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably both.
Probably both. Yeah.
I mean, if I were him, I'd be like, okay, I'd like them to be able to see my eyes at least.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point of having me here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he had lots of opportunity to phone it in, and he decided against it.
Yeah.
I do think he's
Profesh.
scarier out of the mask, though.
Yeah. More
Because
on-
he's like, you can see how tightly he can pull his face muscle.
Oh my gosh. That scene, that mirror scene, they zoom in on his face at the end of it, and it is like nightmare content.
Yeah. He does what my siblings and I lovingly, not so lovingly, it's terrifying, call my father's scary clown face.
Oh, no.
Because he can also stretch like the lower half of his face into like that sort of shape. And then I learned from the photo booth we had at my wedding that his brother can do it too. Because they took a picture of the two of them as close to the camera as possible doing the scary clown.
Terrifying.
That's great. Good classic dad move.
Yeah, right?
All right. The Reference Machine asked, did you guys listen to the Weird Al song about this movie?
No.
Oh.
But I will.
About this movie specifically?
That is what the question
Is
says.
it called 2002 Spider-Man, a Weird Al?
The Weird Al song? I don't know, but I will.
Me too.
Yeah. Sorry. Frog goes on to
Is
say,
it like Wider Man or something? Or
Ode to a Superhero parody of Piano Man.
Oh.
got it.
Give us a song, Mr.
You're the
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Something like that.
I think I have heard that before, but I don't
Okay.
really remember
No.
it. I'll have to re-listen to it.
Post it in the Discord.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Patreon.com.
Slash Totes Recall.
Oh, shit.
Frog.
.com.
Further goes on to say, I've also heard someone joke that Tobey Maguire had an early case of old man face. But does anyone in this movie sell as a high school student?
All the background characters.
I mean, yes, the background characters, certainly.
Yeah.
There's the graduation scene. Everybody looks like they're in high school except for the people who are like the stars of the movie.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, like there are certain scenes where I guess they all kind of sell it in a way, right? Like there's a couple scenes where Franco is just like such a snot that you're just like, yeah, okay, he's like 18, sure.
Kirsten Dunst, I think. I
Yeah.
mean, she's 19, so
Right.
it's not like that big a reach. But
There's a couple scenes where she's, yeah. I think with Toby, it's like maybe when he's just like the saddest, you buy that he's like a 19 or a 17-year-old.
I don't know. There's something about his face that just looks.
Old.
Well, he's like
Old.
10 years older than he's playing,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but no, I hear that. I did. There were a couple scenes that occurred to me. I was like, wow, he really just has like an older face.
Yeah.
I guess they cast him because they figured they'd cover his face for half the movie.
yeah, that's true.
And they saw that Spider House rules.
Right, of course.
Spider-House.
Well, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah. All right. Samai asks, what's your favorite Spider-Man meme?
Ooh.
I can really only think of the two Spider-Mens pointing at each other.
Isn't it 3?
It's 3.
It's 3?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, at least it is now. I don't know if that's
They're
from
multiplying.
the Spider-Verse movie or if it's the actual original meme. I don't remember. That one's good. Yeah, like they use that, I'm something of a scientist myself has become a meme in the last year or two where they changed the word scientist to whatever.
Oh.
I feel like I think the crying Tobey Maguire is
That's
one too,
definitely a
right?
meme, yeah.
I know this isn't the right movie, but one of my favorite memes is the one with Natalie Portman, where she's from Star Wars.
Okay,
Phantom
adjacent.
Menace. It's adjacent.
Nerdness.
Where he says something terrible, and then she says,
yeah.
"But you're gonna fix it, right?"
Yeah, that's real good.
Oh, it never fails.
Also, point of order, that is from episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
oh, thank you. Oh, that's right, because he's not a child.
Yes.
Got you.
He is a legal adult that they can have relations
Which
together.
might be,
Right.
that movie might be about the same year, 2002. I was remembering
Oh.
as this movie was ending, that was a big year of heartbreak for me. And I saw this movie and I went, yeah, no one can be in love and together.
So,
As Tobey Maguire turns away because he has to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
your big takeaway of this movie was just like, yes, that's the correct choice.
Yeah.
Destroy any chance you have of love.
Yeah.
Great.
Or just
Wow.
that was the proper order, apparently, for things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Are there other Spider-Man memes? I mean, there's, I guess, the dancing Spider-Man or Dancing Peter Parker from the third one. That comes up a lot.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
the way
my
it comes
favorite
out
one.
of the thing and he does the little rolling arm
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
That's
So
become
good.
a big thing on the internet.
Yep, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. Oh, Pizza Time is one too.
What's pizza time?
It's from the second one where he's delivering pizzas and he just like comes up and he says, "Pizza time."
Oh, it's great. Classic.
I don't know these memes.
Should we do a pizza meme?
I mean, we have a shirt,
Oh,
don't we?
okay.
Is that still there?
Pizza talk.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
Is that a meme?
I don't know.
No?
I mean,
It
if we
will
took
be
a
if
picture
you-
of it.
Yeah, if
You
you
make it
wear the
viral.
goddamn shirts.
All right. Take it. Hey, the
Totes
Totes Challenge.
Make this a meme.
Make us have a meme.
Make us go viral.
Yeah.
Be our son.
Lake girl.
What?
I was just thinking of other signs that the Green Goblin could have.
Oh, gather.
I'd rather be at the lake.
Oh, God. I was like, what in the world are you talking about?
Lake girl.
Don't complain in my kitchen. No, sir. There's a more clever way to say that. I love cooking with wine.
I'm trying to figure out what is like the quintessential fishing one. There's got to be like, you know what I mean? Or it's like you see them at people's cabins that are just like, I don't know.
Gone fishing?
No,
Well, there's like those.
you know what I'm talking about though? Where it's like something sassy.
Don't trout my cheddar or whatever.
Don't trout my cheddar.
Don't trout my cheddar.
Make that Totes Challenge. Make that a meme. Don't trout my cheddar. That's great. Oh my God.
Wow. I'm going to think about that all night.
Ooh, it's me, Spider-Man. Cheddar trout. You'll never get past me.
All right. Well, thank you to all of our patrons for those questions and comments. Our rating scale, as we all remember,
Of
is
course.
a Raimi Day in New York, which is...
And I just want to say that Dan is truly grateful. He's just very tired at this point.
I don't think any of us doubted his sincerity.
I did.
Wow.
Wow.
You just take this deep breath like you're an old man trying to catch
He
your
is.
Yeah, that's accurate.
He's the podcast grandpa. We've established this.
Oh,
It's
thank you
canon.
very
I
much
need
for-
oxygen
sorry.
to move on to the next segment.
Yeah.
Raimi Day in New York, which is a culinary and film experience
/ trap.
/trap.
/ Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, it's a traveling experience. We'll say, in which it's indoor.
Yeah.
but it has the appearance of being an outdoor market. There are New York-based and themed food vendors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside in kind of a central area. Then all around there's screens showing moments from Sam Raimi projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The vendors can't leave.
Correct. The food is brought in via tunnel.
Tunnel, even though it's a traveling show. They
/ resort.
/ resort.
Well, you get the boring company. You call Elon Musk.
Sure,
you get
sure.
him to-
Yeah. Once you go in, you commit to a number of days. You're locked in. You can't leave. In
based on,
between.
I assume based on the fee you pay. Yes.
I mean, it's cheaper the more days you do.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just like Disney.
like cheap,
You'd
like
be
per day.
foolish to
cheaper.
go for one day.
You get a discount for each.
Oh,
subsequent
massive
day.
discount. It's like not getting the extra large popcorn.
Sure. I mean, I guess they have to give you discount because you have to like sleep on the damn floor of a tunnel or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, do they have cots or hammocks or anything? I guess it's New York. It's like a subway car. You got to lean against a pole.
Oh, wow. You could sleep on the pole or on this pile of trash.
Yeah. So that's the rating scale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily
New
comprehensive.
York
It has any number of luxurious hotels.
Not next to a hot dog cart.
Yeah, we didn't see any in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, we saw like the
That one
insane
really nice
penthouse that the
farmhouse.
Osborns live in.
Ooh, that was nice. I was even like, I didn't know a place could be that nice.
Yeah. Money.
Yeah. And that place really exists.
Oh, sure.
Money is green.
Oh.
So much green in this movie.
There you go.
Money Goblin.
Their school
That
colors
makes sense.
are green.
Things are adding up.
Lots of green sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like how in the second one, there's an octopus in every scene. It's very awkward. Just slapped up against a building, sliding down,
Yeah.
hanging off of a lamppost.
I wish this was real.
Me too, now that I've said it out loud.
Don't talk to me till I've had my coffee.
Spider-Man.
8 cups.
Okay, Dan, you were
It's a full carafe for nothing. Yes.
You were pumped. You're a comic book nerd. You're excited about this movie, but also maybe it would be cringe. There was some mild homophobia,
Yes.
which, yes, there was.
Yep.
Four days of bagel, pizza, hot dog, falafel.
We changed the order so that you could come for 3 days.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's no point in planning at this point till we all know how many days we're actually going to go.
Okay, fine. Tentatively,
bagel, hot dog, pizza, hot dog, falafel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it? That's my rating?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there were parts that were cringe, but what that means is kind of what most people usually mean when they say cringe, which is just sincere. And I was fine with that because part of what Raimi is doing is like really embracing like the classic like 60s, 70s Spider-Man where it was just like, oh, it's just some kid down on his luck in a weird costume and then some psychopaths dressed like animals come and attack him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very charming. And I still think it's charming. It still looked super cool. Like, it was very nostalgic for me to remember how dope it was to see Spider-Man actually swinging around. And yeah, Willem Dafoe is just like a fucking cartoon character, and I love it. I love J.K. Simmons in this movie. Sticking with 4.
Okay.
Also, Macho Man. God bless you. R.I.P. He used this movie as a diss against Hogan in a rap song.
Oh, wow.
Incredible.
Wow.
Yes, he says, you call yourself Hollywood, but I had a feature role in Spider-Man. Boom.
Wow.
Wow.
Also, check out that incredible album where Macho Man Randy Savage raps.
Yeah. Sounds great.
The track I'm talking about is called Be a Man, Hulk. It's great.
I have heard that.
really
It's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
All right, Beth. You also gave it a 4. You thought there would be too many mains.
Yep.
What?
I thought there was way too many names.
Too many mains. Just all the lions. But Spider-Man.
Too many mains?
I thought there'd be too many mains, but Spider-Man. That is true. There were too many mains. But
What is
Spider-Man.
I'm losing my mind. Too many mains.
My best guess. You want to look at it?
Can I
How
see
do
it?
you ever read anything that you
Why are you our note taker?
I don't know. No
Too
one else has stepped up.
Too many.
It's Mambo.
Too many
Too many mambos.
Too many mame. Too many.
Here, you try.
It's like too many names.
Too many names.
I think there'd be too many names in the movie.
His name's Spider-Man. His name's Peter. I can't keep track.
MJ and Mary Jane.
Come on.
Yeah.
VO sophomore. Too many.
That's
Classic
obviously
Marvel
Plot
character,
Spider-Man.
VO sophomore.
Too many valets. Nope. Too many values.
Vowels.
Vowels. Too many vowels.
Okay, so there's too many vowels, but Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
I agree, I guess, with my first half.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think this movie's fine. I think it's entertaining. It isn't as fun as I remember. I feel like there's like, I think that's maybe why I like that third one, because Spider-Man gets to be a little bit silly.
Yeah.
And I feel like Willem Dafoe is so silly.
Yes.
Like he's like, just like you said, he's a cartoon, and I feel like nothing else is really like that in the movie.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want it all to be either that or not that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say 3.5.
Oh.
Wow.
I am going to leave midday
Wow.
through a tunnel.
Oh, wow.
Sneak
Sneak it
out.
Yep,
Oh.
they'll never know.
Make a little mannequin of yourself with
Yeah. With a hot dog in your hand. A half-eaten hot dog in your hand.
Ah,
But the other hand is like rubbing your belly.
I gave it a 3. I was not excited, and I couldn't really understand why. 'Cause
You specifically said you were going to Coward Tower.
I was going to Coward. I was going to sling my ropes to
Yeah.
Coward Tower. I'm still not excited by this movie. Like
What?
I enjoyed it fine.
Sure.
I don't know. It just Tobey Maguire was fine.
Wow.
Everything was fine.
Oh my
It
God.
was kind of fun, but it was way too long.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. It was too
Yeah.
long.
It was not too fast. I did
Oh,
not.
good.
That's great.
I mean, there was a lot of cuts, but they were of a speed that I could follow.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So I guess I'm going to stay on Coward Tower.
Okay.
Wow.
And the penthouse, at least?
Yeah, sure.
Everything's green?
Yep.
Bunch of weird masks everywhere?
Yeah, I'm going to break a lot of bottles up there.
Yeah. Yell at your chair.
Bless this mess.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, 3. Molly, you gave it a 4. You were feeling optimistic and thinking that it probably had a lot of heart.
Yeah, it did have a lot of heart. Oh, this Fine. That is so sad
You're
to
supposed to
me.
be talking about your feelings about the
Fine,
movie.
okay.
Not Dan.
I know. Anyway, yes. So,
She just fell asleep.
So boring to not shit on Dan. That's all that will keep her awake now. She thrives on it.
no, I had a great time. I mean, I was on my phone for a good portion of it,
Yep.
but I had a really great time every time I looked up.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know, I
Solid.
felt like it clipped along. I liked the characters. I really enjoyed the heart of it. I loved Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and I did really enjoy that conversation that MJ and Peter Parker have in the backyard when
Right.
she's taking out the trash. Like, I thought also it was good. I liked it. I had a fun time watching it. I had a fun time watching it with y'all. And just out of spite, I'm going to increase it by 0.5.
Wow.
Stay an extra half day, and I'm just going to
Wow.
not pay for it. I'm just going to hide.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
What food item are you getting? This has got to be a new
Ooh.
food item.
Yeah, you got to sneak a new food item out for that extra half.
Oh, yeah. What would I like? I would get a Waldorf salad.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice.
Yeah.
That has got to be a huge cart.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little pricey, but I'm
Yeah.
going for it.
Well, you're just going to
Yeah,
steal
you're
it.
gonna steal
I'm
it,
saving
right?
all that
Still
money.
half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So 4.5 theft. Got it.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not a thiever. I wouldn't do it. But I do like salad.
Okay.
I'm not a thiever. I just like salad.
You, me, we could steal every salad in this city.
Stop trouting my cheddar.
Okay, that sounded more like... That sounded more like the wife from All in the Family.
Edith.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm a chocoholic, but for alcohol.
I love this. I love this character. I would watch an entire feature length of just a montage of like, all right, Willem, give us another one. Give us another one.
Cursive signs and
Yeah.
driftwood.
He's just like literally scrolling through eBay on his phone. Like, okay, I got this one. Oh wow,
Well,
That was sure fun.
it was fun. Dan,
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
We had fun.
we had fun. We were excited about it.
I had 0.5 more fun than you.
hey, it's me, Jetpack Guy. I just webbed out in here. Yeah, I was hanging with my best friend, Spider Dog.
Wait, why didn't you use your jetpack to get in?
Oh, trying something new. That's the moral of this episode. No matter how stuck in a rut you are, you can always try something new. Bow, baby. Pew, pew. Swip, snickety swip.
What was that?
And he's gone. Wow.
Was that the sound of him shooting ropes?
That was, yeah, he blasted his ropes on out of here.
Oh, boy.
The ropes came out of his jetpack. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And there we go. That's the
Moral of the story, try something new.
Yeah.
Folks, get yourself a Waldorf salad out of a cart inside a tent in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep. Podcast over.
A hero is having, the eagle is flying away.
It's 2 a.m. I must be lonely.
Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.